This story is titled, Am I the A-hole if my sister-in-law demanded $40,000 for a vacation and I didn't pay for it? Then she called me selfish. Hey everyone! Actually need your help before we start. Channel growth went down a bit recently. Would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It's free, by the way. Takes literally 1 second of your time. Helps me keep making content you guys enjoy. Every sub counts anons. Thanks for being here. Now let's check today's story. Beamy, 42-year-old female. Married with 3 amazing kids. Living in coastal California. Work as a corporate risk management consultant. 10 years ago, everything changed. Made some incredibly lucky investments. They paid off beyond wildest dreams. Keep adding more to bank account every year. Husband considers it my money since no prenup. When first big payout came, did what we always dreamed about. Paid off our mortgage completely. Bought myself a new car. Managed to buy nice vacation house in Hawaii. Rented to wonderful local family most of the year. Set up college funds for our 3 kids. Equal amounts for each one. Enough to cover 5 years of education. If money left over, they can use it for house down payment. As money kept growing from investments and work, started looking at how to help extended family. Husband has 2 sisters and 5 nieces, nephews on his side. My brother has 2 children as well. Decided all nieces and nephews should have college funds too. Same amount as my kids, same rules. Oldest niece already in college when this started. Paid her parents back what they'd spent to keep things fair. She finished in 4 years with money left over. Had my accountant friend check what would help my brother and sister-in-law. Paid off majority of both their mortgages. Sent my parents on luxury vacation. Their house already paid off. For both in-laws, paid certain amount toward rent. So they could save that money instead. Set aside part of money for charities, both local and international. Also set up college funds for closest friends' kids. As special treat, took whole extended family on vacation. Paid for everything. One of husband's sisters, let's call her Patricia. Always needs spotlight for herself or her kids. Nice to my face, but different story behind my back. Found out she's been bad-mouthing me for years. Makes passive-aggressive remarks about my work and personality. Does it in a way that makes you look bad if you call her out. My usual tactic works perfectly. Play the innocent dumb one. Pick apart everything she says. Managed to shut her up many times this way, without looking like the bad person. Past few years she's been dropping hints. Wants me to pay for fancy all-inclusive resort holiday. For her and her whole family abroad. Note they already have money saved. Money that would have been used for kids' college. But since I'm paying for that, they kept it. COVID hit, and she stayed quiet for a while. Took it very seriously with restrictions. Now that restrictions mostly lifted, she throws birthday party. For herself and her son. Says son really wanted to have party. We show up with gifts for both. Birthday boy gets voucher for camping gear he wanted. Patricia gets voucher to use however she wants. Added some sunscreen and drinks too. Knew she wanted to go on holiday of some sort. Or so we thought. She asks about our holiday plans. Tell her we're staying in country. Booked cabin for a week. Nothing luxurious. Still need to cook and do shopping ourselves. Patricia starts with, oh how nice. Husband and I both sense what's coming. Try suggesting ideas to avoid disaster. Tell her about family place she could stay at. Mention nice campsite with kids' entertainment. Then it happens. Shows us something she found online. Have to admit it looks amazing. Not too luxurious, but very nice. All-inclusive resort. Water park for kids. Spa center. Whole package for family of 7. Price tag, $40,000. Husband says that's a lot of money. Glad they saved enough for nice trip. Patricia goes, oh, we don't have it. Says she thought I would pay, as her birthday gift. Just sit there processing this. She just told us what she was considering. No, scratch that. She expected me to give $40,000 as gift. Just because I have money. She continues ranting. Says I earn enough. Mentions other family members got things already. Her family includes our godson. Claims other nieces and nephews were promised things. Complete nonsense. We all sit in stunned silence. Birthday boy and sisters look up from playing. Want to see what we'll say. Husband starts laughing. Thinks it's joke. Father-in-law just sits there. I do perfect impression of shocked fish. But Patricia dead serious. You have the money, you can just give it. You won't miss it. This woman who constantly shows disdain for me. Wants me to hand over small fortune. While being super sweet about it, makes it hard to call her out. I just sit there listening. She widens her eyes. Does that sweet look she always uses? When wanting something, gives all reasons why we should pay. Completely ignores voucher we gave her. Finally, regain my wits. Say the sentence she doesn't want to hear. No, Patricia. But you have the money. Me. I have money, that's true. Patricia. So you can pay for it. Me. I could indeed. Patricia interrupts me. Oh, that's great. Me. But I won't. Patricia starts screeching. But we deserve it. You won't miss it. We're family. Yep, unfortunately we are family. Tell her I love being family with her kids, though. Make my stance clear. Fact, we're family. Fact, we all deserve a nice holiday after COVID mess. False, I wouldn't miss $40,000. Try to make joke about bank account. Doesn't land well. Patricia and her husband keep ranting about how much they think I should pay. Finally had enough. Tell them straight up. Listen, you've shown many times you don't respect me. Don't respect my work. Don't respect fact I worked hard. Made sacrifices to earn this money. Don't respect fact I paid off your mortgage. Paid for college education of your kids. Even gave money for their own place. You badmouth me. Call me names. Even told people husband should divorce me. Patricia tries denying everything. Her husband calls me liar. Father-in-law joins in. Takes my side completely. Her own children tell their dad. They heard their mother say horrible things about me. Birthday boy drops bomb. Shows recording of conversation. He caught while making TikTok video. Her husband goes completely silent. Conversation continues. Patricia realizes she won't get expensive holiday. Fine then, don't pay for this holiday. Least you can do is pay for plane tickets. Let us stay at your vacation home. Reminder, home is rented to local family. They can't leave due to COVID. Too afraid to travel. Tell her absolutely not happening. First, family can't leave house. Second, she doesn't get to make demands. Third, voucher has generous amount. She can use toward holiday if she wants. Fourth, we already went on family holiday that I paid for entirely. Fifth, if she wants more money, she should get better paying job. She has degree after all. Last point. She treats me like garbage. Still expects me to hand over hard-earned money. Patricia starts waterworks routine. Turns to her father for support. But he sides with me completely. Tells her he understands my position. Says he knows how hard I worked. Mentions sacrifices husband and I made. Husband absolutely furious. Sees red completely. Tells his sister in no uncertain terms. This won't be happening. How dare she act this way? Says we're leaving right now. We pack up kids and head home. Later get call from mother-in-law. She has tendency to favor Patricia, as Patricia is her favorite child. Tries whole speech about how hard they had it. Before I came into money and helped. Husband handles conversation perfectly. Makes her understand after long talk. Here's where I just laughed. Patricia's kids are furious about her stunt. Gone into full rebel mode against parents. We have great relationship with them. They seem worried this would affect it. Managed to come by our house. Have heart-to-heart talk with them. Tell them we don't blame them for actions of their parents. Explain reasons for not handing out money. After initial gifts were given, youngest seems to side with parents. Rest say they understand completely. They know about their generous college funds. Tell them we don't want them doing anything against their parents while living there. They stay for dinner, then head home. Currently, kids barely talking to parents. Still do chores and basic communication. But that's about it. Flying monkeys in form of other family. Start showing up. Patricia sent them messages and called them. Simple Facebook post by birthday boy. With video of his mom trash talking. Put stop to that real quick. Patricia and husband face enormous backlash. From flying monkeys calling them out. They get uninvited from certain events. We receive tons of apologies from family. Some tell me they had hard time. Understanding both her side and mine. Only thing bothering me now? My poor parents caught in middle. Especially mother-in-law, who's very family-oriented. Know some might wonder why I won't just give money. One reason is how she treated me, even before I came into money. Another reason is feeling uncomfortable, just handing out money like candy. Some other relatives start drama. Turns out whole family knows about bank account. Full of money now. Patricia called everyone to complain. Spilled beans about our finances. They start talking among themselves. And their children? Some aunts, uncles, cousins not happy that I paid for some cousins' college funds, but not others. Note, only paid for cousins we're close with. That's about 6 cousins, with around 12 kids total. Been in family almost 20 years. Only see majority of aunts/uncles/cousins at yearly family reunion. Haven't seen some in 5 to 10 years. Few days after Patricia drama, aunt and uncle call. Something they never do. Put phone on speaker while folding laundry. They ask how everything going. How we holding up during COVID. Exchange some experiences. Then they drop the bomb. Aunt and uncle. Listen, we hear you have college funds. Set up for some cousins' children. Is that true? Me. Yes, that's true. I'm no liar. Aunt and uncle. Is it true you took whole family on holiday? Me. Yes. Aunt and uncle. You also have vacation home? Me. We do, but why do you want to know? Aunt and uncle. Never knew you had so much money. Me. Well, lots of hard work. Me. Sacrifices, dedication. Me. And luck were part of it. Aunt and uncle. Uh-huh. Well. You have to pay for our grandchildren's college funds too. We want to go on holiday with our children too. We deserve it too. Me, just shocked silence. Aunt and uncle. We're family, so you have to pay. Me, even more shocked silence. Aunt and uncle start listing demands. We want college funds for our 6 grandchildren, each consisting of $900,000. We already found perfect holiday home in location X. We'll send you information. That also goes for our family holiday. We're family, and since you have money, you can pay for us too. Me, complete pissed off silence. They continue ranting about how they deserve it because they're family, and family takes care of each other. Husband heard everything, getting angrier by minute, had pressed record button halfway through, asked them to repeat their demands, finally asked if they had more to say. They didn't. Flat out tell them it's not happening. They might think they're entitled to my money, but they're not. Quote their own words back at them. From when husband and I were broke, had health scare and needed help. Only 3 of 9 aunts, uncles helped then. We paid them back fully. Quote their exact words. It is your responsibility to have and save enough money for care, well-being, and education of your family. If you can't, then you don't deserve them. We won't be giving you any money. Dead silence on their end. Tell them to relay message to others, not to call with such demands. Hang up phone. Husband proud of response. In weeks that followed, more aunts, uncles, cousins called. Same greedy requests. Only those aunts and uncles who supported us back then called to say we're right about everything. Tell us it's our money. Say they've seen plenty of it already. Shouldn't ask for more. One cousin called with different request. Asked for certified loan for house down payment. Agreed to help because they did it right way. They had majority saved. Just fell short of $1,000. Needed to pay sooner to get house. Already received first half back from them. This raised hell with other relatives. Had Zoom call to explain my reasons. Told them they could come for help if truly needed. But only under legal contracts, so neither party feels taken advantage of. Showed them certified notarized loan document. Most seemed to understand. Not entirely happy, but knew they could come for help if needed. Some still found it unacceptable. Then came cherry on top. Came home one weekday, found lots of cars parked on usually empty street. Had to pass my house to park somewhere else. Around 15, 20 aunts, uncles, cousins, gathered in front yard. So much for social distancing. Afterwards counted 3 aunts, 3 uncles, some cousins and spouses, parked car and walked back home. Something few people know. Have security cameras around house. That record sound too. Another thing few know. My right hook really hurts. Been told it's quite painful while walking back. Called non-emergency police line. Explained situation. Said things might get messy. Asked if they could send help. They promised to send officers. Moment I stepped inside. They started screaming, cursing, telling me to pay up, or they'd make sure I'd pay, one way or another, all while cornering me. Told them multiple times to stop what they were doing and leave. During this, more cops called, by some neighbors too. When police arrived, family tried getting to me. Then one uncle made huge mistake. He slapped me. A 6 3 man slapped me. A 5 2 woman. Across face. In full view of cops, crowd went silent. He put face almost in mine. Went on rant about how I had to obey him as one of family elders, all while hand raised like he would slap again. He couldn't finish rant. I knocked him to ground. Stayed down, not unconscious, but quite rattled and stunned that I had punched him. This was apparently what cops needed. Family members stunned. Cops managed to get them away from me. They were pissed. Couple aunts, uncles, cousins managed to run to cars and drive away. Rest got to meet very angry cops. Some fines for breaking social distancing. And expectation of more charges coming. To shorten already lengthy story, I'm fine physically. Just some bruised fingers. Uncle has broken cheekbone. Some of my security cameras, now in hands of district attorney. Other family members distanced themselves from this whole mess. Being honest here, feel really crappy about everything. Feel like I'm dividing family just because I won't hand out money. Husband says it's money I worked hard for, so I get to decide what happens. Still considering setting aside some college funds for rest of children. Though I'm doubting myself, seems like I don't stand my ground. Can be influenced by violence, threats, and harassment. So sick of all of it. Update on situation. Pressed charges against uncle for slap. Thankfully, uncle hasn't filed countercharges. For my love tap in return. Been informed he requested anger management and psychological evaluation without prompting. His statement says he got carried away, felt he was being incited. Also wrote he was extremely sorry. Never meant to harm me. Don't know what to believe. Know this behavior out of character for him. He and wife contacted my lawyer. With written apology already. Everyone present had to give statements. One consistent theme emerged. They were there because first aunt and uncle, who called me about college funds, had said they all should come. Try to convince me in person. Regarding charges for others present, my lawyer investigating if they can be charged. With harassment, also examining if instigators can be charged with various offenses. That guy is having field day. He loves this kind of case. Those not involved have sent texts, called and emailed expressing regret for their spouses/siblings/parents' behavior. Haven't asked me to drop charges, just sending apologies. Got another update about my uncle. He had to pay several fines. Got damages bill. Has 2 years probation. Tried threatening us again after. Told him police dog would love to meet him again. Interesting development with charges. Both uncle and aunt who started this had to pay hefty fines. Got 6 months community service. I've accepted this outcome. Before I forget, they already received and paid fines for breaking social distancing laws. Some other family members received equivalent of cease and desist letters from my lawyer after virtual visit. Since some kept harassing us, been quiet ever since. On more positive note, cousin with certified loan bought their house. When it was finished, we visited, masked up and keeping distance. They turned house into beautiful home. Good to see pride and joy coming from them. A lot happened in past couple months. Need to give update about Patricia. Let me summarize cast of current players. My lawyer friend still helping. Patricia still causing trouble. Uncle who slapped me. Aunts and uncles who ambushed me at home. First want to say something. Had my surgery finally. Recovering slowly but steadily. Husband and kids help a lot. Blessed to have them. Read some speculation about college funds. Where I live, college isn't crazy expensive. Like in some other countries, funds should cover community college or trade school education. Makes it less expensive than private universities. Another point about funds, only cover good part of tuition and books. No rent or living expenses covered. Not millions like some people thought. About mortgages, weren't entirely paid off. Gave Patricia, her husband, and my brother amount, which helped them significantly. They paid off rest themselves. About my investments, made before meeting husband. Put money in several companies and technologies that have since grown. Not all investments paid off, but some really did. Consider ourselves very fortunate. Part of returns goes to retirement, and charities both local and abroad. Sought investment advice from professional. When decided to invest. Was about 23 then, also took some investing courses. Some people asked why help Patricia. When she behaved so badly, well, we love her kids. It was more for them than for her. Another reason was keeping things fair, if that's even possible. Now realize might not have been smartest move. Last reason was seeing decent behavior. For some time, assumed she learned manners. Big mistake there. Back to current situation. Last time we left off, group of aunts, uncles, cousins, came by for money demands. Uncle earned title Love Tap Uncle for slapping me. One cousin with loan paid everything back. Asked family not to contact me, only through my lawyer. They mostly respected that. Did ask for Zoom call, where they could explain everything. Lawyer, husband, and I agreed, but only after cases resolved. About that $900,000 figure was total for all grandchildren of remaining family members. Finally got that clear. Found out later they just made up number. Would see how it would end. Uncle's cheekbone wasn't broken, just severely bruised. Grapevine isn't always reliable. Also had some harassment from family members after virtual visit. On to the update about court cases. Couldn't be present myself. Not COVID, but other health issue. Most conversations through online meetings. Uncle charged with trespassing. Also assault and threatening bodily harm. He pled guilty. His lawyer explained he's been following anger management courses on his own. Reports from therapist good. Court-ordered psychologist confirms this isn't like him. He regrets everything. Judge gave uncle very hard time. From what lawyer told me, judge didn't take kindly to man hitting woman. Asked uncle some tough questions. Main one was why he did it. Now it gets juicy. Turns out Patricia threw kerosene on fire. That didn't even exist before her calls. Family didn't know we had money. We asked those who knew to keep quiet. Everyone respected that until now. Patricia called uncle and rest of family, telling them about money, how we refused to share with family. Then came flood of lies. Turned on waterworks. Told them I made fun of their finances. Said I flaunted my wealth. Claimed I was mean, disrespectful, spiteful. Played victim to them all. Accused me of horrible things. She continued saying, I made fun of rest of family for their life choices, jobs, ambitions, everything. Pushed all their buttons. Pushed them deep. Reason others went crazy, again thanks to Patricia. Who really knows how to push people? That woman deserves Oscar for performance. Uncle and others apologized. For whatever that's worth. Judge asked if my lawyer had input from our side. Lawyer read letter we wrote. Told judge we were deeply hurt by what had happened. No ill will or harm ever meant towards any of them. We chose to do with money as we saw fit, would always have been willing to help. Yet having money doesn't mean it should be handed out like dust and wind. Lawyer also told judge, we're very angry about their entitlement, their behavior, them showing up at house, and of course the slap. Used to respect them lot, but won't accept this behavior from anyone. Asked judge to serve justice. If that meant sentence and record, then so be it. Why should we feel compassion for people who felt need to attack me? Uncle sentenced to 18 months. Community service, fine plus court costs, has to continue anger management for at least another year. Evaluation will determine if more needed after that. Goes on his record. I've accepted this outcome. Others who came to house also charged with harassment and threatening person. They pled guilty too. Had to pay hefty fine, along with 6 months community service. I accepted this outcome as well. Before I forget, they already received and paid fines. For breaking social distancing laws, some other family members got cease and desist letters from lawyer. After virtual visit, since some kept harassing us, been quiet ever since. After court cases, arranged Zoom call with aunts, uncles and cousins involved. Whole story became clear. Not just what uncle told in court. Patricia's full role revealed, my lawyer and their lawyer present. They apologized and explained, felt deeply hurt and angry. Patricia insisted they pursue their rightful share because they deserved it. Because they were family and family shares. Patricia told them it worked before. They repeated all insults and horrible actions I allegedly committed, according to Patricia, felt fueled by her. That and greed got best of them. They understand now. This money is for us to do as we wish. Our relationship isn't same, won't ever be. They seem to understand we're not able nor willing to forget this attack on me, my character, and to extent my husband. To be sure, I have no contact order against them for at least a year. Dawned on them that one breach will ensure they meet law enforcement. Again, as I don't back down, also realize if we were ever willing to help out financially with loans, they annihilated that chance. We've been brutally honest with each other. I was pissed, told them they are adults, should have known better, then jumped to conclusions, was calm and collected. When family members contacted me, now I wasn't. Let everything go, told them to have decency and soundness of mind, to ask other party involved for their side of story, listen with open mind, tore them all new one, was brutal according to husband and lawyer. I treated family to 20 minutes of brutal honesty. Even husband and lawyer said they were impressed, to point of being scared. After much talking call ended. Relationship might not ever heal, but at least we discussed everything. I have my peace with that. If they could do this, then I don't want them as family. Lawyer thought I learned own lesson about not letting family off hook easily, just because they were family. However, some family members who weren't involved contacted me after virtual visit, wanted to know how possible to earn so much money. I shared some information about investing, gave them number for advice if wanted, along with warning that investing has risks. I earned a lot of money, but also lost plenty. They shouldn't invest if it will put them in debt. They thanked me for warning. Regarding college funds, won't be doing that anymore. For other relatives, simply because we don't want anyone to think such things can be achieved. By this behavior, didn't really have relationship with them. But still, you don't treat family or any other person like this. Husband still shaken. That mostly generous family he knew did what they did, treated him and me way they did. Hope he'll be all right in long run. Wonder what future will bring. Update. This account got hacked. Received email saying someone changed password. Since I had health scare, couldn't change it fast enough. For person who did that, really do something useful with your time. Instead of hacking accounts and posting inappropriate pictures, update about Patricia's youngest child. Got into conflict with 2 of his siblings after finding out what happened. Due to their mother, 2 kids moved out after bad fight with her. Eldest daughter, 26, and her boyfriend. Already had home waiting, just moved in. Renovations not finished. She said she didn't care. They sleep on air mattresses in 1 bedroom. Rest of house still mess, as they need to renovate lot. Second kid, 24M, staying with girlfriend. At her parents' house. Helps with bills there. Both gone no contact with parents. After finding out what happened. Due to their mother, 2 of kids, 21-19, are furious. But cannot move out. Aren't speaking to her. Sleep at friends' places lot. The 17-year-old sides with mother though. He's the baby. Patricia always spoiled him. Read comments about how people suggested we could cut off Patricia's children. No, I'm not going to do that. 17-year-old did Patricia move. Regarding demanding money, I frankly said if he wanted education, largely paid for by husband and me, he would stop what he's doing. Meet requirements that come with money. Otherwise, bye-bye money. Told him if he starts acting and behaving like his mother, then bye-bye money. Yes, money comes with requirements. Very strict requirements. Don't meet requirements. Money flow stops. I'm not entirely stupid. So far, he has stopped. His siblings tell me. He is quite hilarious. Wen throws temper tantrums about this. Patricia and her husband seem unamused by my stance and situation. Like I care. Rest of family let Patricia know what they thought of her, called her, gave her piece of their minds, went full-blown no contact. Patricia and her husband now pariahs. In the family, some cousins would help them with paint job. Not happening anymore. Another uncle who checks their car yearly for reduced fee. Told them find another garage. Another cousin would renovate their roof. Gave money back they had paid. Told them find someone else. Mother-in-law is heartbroken. That hurts to see. Don't think she ever thought her own child could do this. Break up family like this. Still has contact with grandkids. But her relationship with Patricia, very strained now. Same goes for father-in-law. Every Saturday used to have coffee with immediate family. Mother-in-law, father-in-law, Patricia and husband, and kids if they had time. Other sister and family too. We still see them. But don't go if Patricia will be there, or is already there. Means whenever we see her arriving, we quickly pack things and leave. Patricia been badgering husband, kids and me, alternating between apologizing and claiming she didn't mean for this to happen, acting like she did nothing wrong. Once she called husband, who put phone on speaker, because I was curious, wanted to hear how she dug herself deeper into pile of trouble. She didn't disappoint, had to laugh hysterically when she spewed nonsense through phone. Told her if she didn't want this to happen, why did she do it? Why spread all those lies? She just wanted money, use family as her minions. Because if I paid for them, I could pay for her, right? She went silent. My lawyer looking into whether legal action possible against Patricia. He received texts from both family and us. Slander, instigation for harassment, violence and harassment itself are the accusations. He's gathering evidence, digs deep and wants everything so he can throw it at her. Even contacted family to see if willing to hand over texts voluntarily. Most did. Patricia been blocked from both phones, email and social media. After last call, after finding out she was blocked, she came to our home to try sweet talk her way out. Her husband also came. They even came together sometimes when new husband would be out. Tried to intimidate or sweet talk me. My response was to call police. Patricia attempted to slander us to people in our hometown. Unfortunately for her, that backfired. She gets stink eye from many people now. Then she did something really scary. One day week, my mom picks up youngest kids from school. They go with her, have snack. Later joined by eldest, who goes to secondary school, do homework there. Then either eat there, we all eat there, or we take them home for dinner. Mom always early, but due to doctor's appointment, she and dad ran late. Patricia was waiting at school. Of our youngest kids, why we don't know. Thankfully, kids saw her, stayed inside school. Eldest son had finished early, decided to go to sibling school. To go with them and grandma, he saw his aunt, walked inside school, to wait with siblings for grandma. Patricia left shortly after. School was informed about situation. Promised to call police immediately if she spotted again. We're waiting for approval for no contact order against her and her husband. We have also moved to different place. Initially didn't want to, but due to what happened, thought might be best. In town where my brother lives, found nice place, house similar to ours. Our kids know kids their age, so school isn't problem. Eldest can still go to his school, as there's good bus connection. Short bus ride. Good thing is brother lives. 2-minute walk from our house. Neighbors very nice and welcoming. My parents moved to smaller home close by. No, we didn't pay for it. My parents were adamant we wouldn't. Only thing we paid for was rent of moving truck and good insurance. Patricia was frothing at mouth. Because we paid for that. She doesn't want that. When husband and I working, parents come around sometimes. Keep eye on house. We don't mind. They never done anything to cause mistrust. Looking into how we can protect ourselves further. Husband, lawyer, and I considering all legal aspects of situation. Our house equipped with security, like cameras with audio and video. They record and images stored. At this point, things calming down. We remain close with husband's other sister, my brother and other family members who weren't part of mess. So this was update part 1 on Patricia. I'll post second part later. Had lots of conversations with father-in-law about Patricia's antics. He believes her behavior stems from jealousy. Husband and I experienced financial hardship for some years before it improved. Even before we came into money, we lived relatively comfortable life. After achieving more financial stability, Patricia and husband weren't dirt poor, but they didn't have as many holidays, weekends away or day trips as we did. Became less frequent when our children born. But we still went away occasionally. Husband has knack for finding deals. Eldest has been learning. Father-in-law thinks jealousy started there. Became worse afterward. Asked if she might think. We wanted to flaunt new wealth. Father-in-law thought possible. Husband and I think her behavior is twofold. Believe jealousy indeed, part of it, but also entitlement. She often thinks she and her family should be included or in spotlight. Gain something from it, even if not about or for them. Seems to think she deserves all kinds of things. According to husband, this started in childhood. Has persisted into adulthood. Also asked father-in-law why she disrespects me and my job. He stated might be jealousy too. I managed to go through college. Get bachelor's and master's degrees. Always worked. Although less when children were born, she didn't pursue education. Beyond training as childcare provider for daycare centers. That's it. Took break from work several years, then cleaned homes for extra cash. Few years after that, father-in-law thinks my educational record, as he jokingly called it, impressed her and made her envious. I earned significantly more. Before investments began generating income, wonder if I did right thing helping them. My intentions were good. Understand importance of education. New kids would struggle to pursue any form of college without accumulating massive debt, either for themselves or parents. My parents worked hard to support my brother and me, so we wouldn't start adult lives with debt. Our nieces and nephews very grateful for everything we did and still do. They aware of all effort that went into it. At this point, we also not in contact with her husband and Patricia. They don't know current address. We have P.O. box in different town. I changed phone number, although kept old one, for business purposes and to gather evidence. We have been granted temporary, no contact order by court. Patricia and husband not allowed to communicate with us anyway, not even through third party. We trying to extend it for at least a year, maybe 2 if possible. She also facing charges of defamation, instigating violence, and harassment. Lawyer digging deep, throwing everything legally possible at her. One thing I'm grateful for, our friends never changed. They knew about our financial situation, but didn't care. Said what mattered was that we were there for and with them, in both good and bad times. Mother-in-law and father-in-law know where we live, but they don't have address on paper. Husband drove them over once, made very clear to mother-in-law, under no circumstances is she to show or tell anyone else where we live. If people want to see us, she can pass message and phone number. We'll call them. Reason for this is simple. Mother-in-law has soft spot for Patricia. Been asking if reconciliation possible. We said at this point no. Patricia not even remotely sorry for what she has done. She trying to deny everything. That happened. Even tries to blame us. She destroyed relationships with family on her own. So no reconciliation. Mother-in-law tried to get us to forgive Patricia. Says she didn't mean it. Didn't want it to happen and such. Truth be told, I lost my cool at that point. Love mother-in-law to death. Really, I do. She's such sweet lady. Has done so much for us, especially concerning our children. But I told her same thing, as I told Patricia. She should be happy with things given to her and children. But no, she had to get greedy. I got slapped for crying out loud. I got threats against my life, husband's life, and lives of my children. Even if said in heat of moment, like what actual hell. Eventually got up and left. Husband and father-in-law talked to her. Made clear it's not up to us to do anything to repair anything. That ball in Patricia's court. I did apologize to mother-in-law for losing my cool, but not for message. That remained same. This situation has shaken me to core. Have done things that go against my nature, even without money and in debt. People were always welcome to eat at our table and stay over. Now keep wondering if people tell me their sob stories because they want money. Don't care about me as person. Just see me as ATM. Nothing more. Do I regret helping out? Yes and no. 4 eldest children of Patricia doing great. Same goes for other relatives. My parents and brother's family. Cousin with certified loan doing great. He and girlfriend have plans for home. Are saving up for it. He asked for investment advice. Gave him websites for courses. Phone number of person who helped me all those years ago. Also made savings plan. Help them budget. I do that as volunteer. For organization that assists people in debt. My regret is helping Patricia herself. Allowing her to share in good fortune, but can't help wonder. What would she have done if we hadn't helped her? Probably just same. She'll rear ugly head in my life. From time to time, of that I'm sure. If that's case, my dear friend lawyer will get opportunity to sharpen his legal knives and have fun. Don't believe this. This has to be joke. It has to be first joke. Think someone found where we live. Woke up last Sunday, found tires of cars slashed. All of them. Not only that, there was wonderful artwork on both sides. AKA cars were keyed. So what did husband and I do? if you guessed check security footage. Pat yourself on back. You got it right. Our cars have dash cams. Record 24/7. Parked several streets over. Security measure number lost count. We take them out. Place another set. Look at footage while saving recordings. You can guess again. Who you think it was? Did you guess Patricia? Sorry to disappoint. It was one of husband's cousins. The one who thought I should just hand over money. Bow down to will of family. And that husband should get his woman in line. Remember him? I certainly do. Police called. We handed over security footage, alongside pictures of cousin. Social media. Address. Phone number. Email. Better be thorough. Afterward, husband called his mother to see if she accidentally or not spilled beans. She and father-in-law thinking hard. About whether overlooked something? I called my family. They also contemplating. If mentioned anything to anyone. Second joke. Patricia and husband filed lawsuit. Against me and somewhat husband. Guess for what? If you guess defamation, then dance your own wonderful dance. Since Patricia's social pariah, in family and hometown, she blames me for all her woes. People in her hometown talked. Many look at her with disgust. They don't like that at all. Wonder why. She's claiming I'm one who apparently spread outrageous lies. To town's gossip machine, caused her drama. Fun part is it was her own mother, because she was so angry with what was happening. She talked and told lot. To many people, my lawyer still rolling on ground laughing. They demand compensation for their ruined reputation. They willing to settle? To keep it out of court. He already started on response. When I saw letter, I was angry and amused same time. Really, Patricia? That's your game plan now? Very well. Game's on. So whose else jaw has dropped? To depths of sea? Have small update on cousin. Who decided to use our cars? To vent his frustrations. Cousin probably lost his job. Or has a lot of trouble there. Apparently his boss got wind. Of fact, he vandalized our cars. And was caught on camera. Don't know how boss found out. Frankly, don't care. Boss not happy at all. From family members who don't have no contact order against us. We hear two different stories. What I know for certain, at cousin's job, stunt he pulled got him serious trouble. We also have temporary no contact order. Against him now, damages are set to be fixed. In 2 weeks' time, cousin has been informed of amount of damages he caused. He can pay for it out of own pocket, as of course insurance companies don't cover idiots destroying other people's cars. He will also see inside of courtroom. In either August or September, we also found out how he located cars. His friend lives in same neighborhood as we do. We didn't know this. Cousin seems to have told friend his version of events, and buddy told him he saw us in neighborhood. Wonder what friend thinks now, after what cousin did. As for Patricia's lawsuit, let's get people clear. My lawyer friend had his batch of cookies, and he loved them. He also replied by sending some of what he had on texts, voicemails, and emails, with note that if Patricia didn't drop lawsuit, we would counterfile and demand compensation of whatever kind. There are people who thought Patricia lied to her lawyer. She of course did. She told a bunch of lies and decided to fabricate evidence to prove it. My lawyer saw it. Her lawyer didn't like it and dropped them as clients. Can't help but want to be fly on wall. When her lawyer told Patricia that, let's see what she'll do next. I'm halfway wondering if I should get popcorn and soda for this. Hey people, I have another update on entitled cousin. He's douche who said, I should bend to will of family. I'm out of ideas for nickname. My lawyer is also mentioned, still waiting for court meeting, but some charges being added, alongside vandalism and destruction of personal property. No, he didn't scratch our cars or slash our tires this time. Smart man. Instead, he got to meet police dog and our neighbor as it happened. Since it's summer, husband and I decided to go on holiday in our own country again due to COVID. Didn't feel like going abroad. To our holiday home, we are vaccinated, although our children not. We had blast. Kids could go to pool couple times. Had to make reservations. Made friends with other kids. Halfway through holiday got call. Little big brother, younger but taller than me, called to say cousin arrested again. This time douche actually found our home. And you lovely people can guess what he did. Did he throw rocks through windows? Nope. Did he spray graffiti on house? Again, nope. No, Mr. Smarty Pants tried breaking in. Our home has a big wooden fence around backyard. Position of wooden planks makes it impossible or very difficult to climb them. Cousin came in dead of night or early morning hours, used ladder to climb fence. So he's in our backyard now. Tools in hand. Starts getting busy. Trying to open our back door. Good luck with that. Our neighbor walks his dog quite early. Takes him out for first walk. To pee and poop for day quite early. Our neighborhood loves Guy and his loyal friend. More than once he has found people at homes who should not be there. Neighbor and dog walk. Find themselves looking at ladder. Standing against fence of my house? Neighbor knows situation. And that we not at home. Hears some noise at our back door. Realizes what happening. So what does he do? He lets dog climb ladder and jump into our yard. Dog sees cousin and starts growling. Who is dog? Dog is sweet, caring, funny, big, and protective as heck. Belgian Malinois owned by neighbor. How did he get his name? Neighbor's wife loves Beauty and Beast. And little dog turned seat. Has same name? So cousin sees dog. Who not amused at seeing stranger? In his protected yard, cousin apparently not so smart. Throws couple tools in dog's direction. Dog having none of it? Barks and charges. Cousin barely manages climb onto table. Before dog gets him, dog is trained so doesn't bite until ordered to. Meanwhile, neighbor standing on ladder, pissing pants at girly screams of cousin. While calling guys and gals in blue, cousin taken away in back of police car. Has to stay in jail until hearing. My lawyer demanded he not be released. Until his hearing. No contact order apparently not sufficient. To keep him away, we managed to send security footage. To legal people involved, dog got some nice doggy snacks. Neighbor and his wife were also thanked. Have to admit one thing though. When we got back, kids went spend night at friends for some slumber party time. Husband and I went watch footage. It was gold. And yes, we grabbed ourselves some drinks and popcorn to watch it again and again. Update. My extended family found out. I have money as well. Don't have a lot of aunts and uncles left. Plenty of cousins though, as dad had 6 sisters who all had children. Only 4 cousins younger than me. Haven't spoken to them in like 20 years. Only times I spoke with them was at funerals of aunts and uncles. Have no relationship with them. Received several messages from cousins who heard through many people that I had money. Reading messages from cousins, mentally preparing for another shitstorm. They're pissed AF. Demand to know why I didn't tell them about my money. One cousin goes full Karen mode, ranting about how unfair everything is, how I should have told them. Yada yada yada. Wait for her to run out of steam. Ask if she's finally done. Tell her I can explain now. Make one group chat. Write the whole story of what's happening. End it with huge, bold, underlined letters. This is why I never told you. Several cousins shocked about what happened. Ask them why they're upset I didn't tell them. Dead silence. Suggest maybe they wanted to benefit from it. Some get defensive. How can you think that of us? Tell them I've lost trust in people because of all the drama I've been through. Surprise, surprise. Some ask if they can get money. Not even borrow. Others try to be slick. Say they'd like to borrow if possible. Upload certified loan document. Tell them these are the rules. Take it or leave it. One cousin asks for a call. Give him a ring. Turns out his daughter is seriously ill. Without treatment, she'll likely die. Won't name the illness for privacy. There's a treatment in the US that could help. Chances are slim, but if successful, his daughter might live. Could even have somewhat good quality of life. Insurance company won't cover it. Don't trust it after all the stories. Ask for details. He invites me to visit. Daughter's in the hospital. He wasn't lying one bit. God, that girl. She's in her early 20s. Tubes and monitors everywhere. Trying to do homework while hooked up to machines. Can almost see death standing at her shoulder waiting. She was so weak. Have a talk. Attending doctor comes in. Explain situation. Go to his office afterward. He elaborates more. Head home to think. Verify doctor's name and credentials. Talk to cousin on phone again. Tell him haven't made decision yet. Ask if they only need money for medical costs. He confirms. Wife would go to us with daughter. They have money to cover living expenses. Would be tight, but they only want medical cost covered. Talk it over with hubby. We agree to help, but with strict rules. We'll only pay exact amount from us hospital. Pay hospital directly. Include all important details in agreement. Only thing we ask in return. If treatment succeeds or fails, they contribute certain amount toward research. Can do installments if needed. LF draws up contract. Gets another lawyer to review it. One who specializes in medical field. Call cousin again. Tell him thoroughly examine situation. Explain how I've been misled and attacked. Lost trust in people. Thank him for honesty. Comment how hard situation must be. Ask if wife is listening. She wasn't, but he puts her on speaker. Tell them the news. Only hear tears, crying, and thank yous. Explain about strict rules. Send draft of document. Ask them to get lawyer to review. Maybe hospital lawyer too. They agree to sign later. Their daughter calls me. Same story as parents. Just hope money will do good this time. Her doctor contacts me. Going to arrange financial details. Once contract between cousin and me is signed, other family members try greedy grab hands too. Simple answer is no. Give them investment advisor's number. Wish them luck. Block the beggars. Don't worry about them finding where I live. Parents, brother and his wife, could win tight lip contest with an oyster. Have another update on the whole saga. Don't know if more updates will follow. We'll post if something happens. Good news is most family members stopped bothering me and hubby. Eldest has social media account we review together. He received some nasty messages there. Eldest blocked and reported them, thanks to lawyer friend who sent letters. Got relatively quiet again. Those without NC orders suddenly reach out more frequently. People hubby or I haven't spoken to in years. Keep it courteous and pleasant. Entitled cousin had to pay several fines. Got damages and 2 years probation. Tried to threaten us again. Told him Fu would love to meet him again. Blabbermouth knows which town we live in now. Entitled cousin seems to have told her. Have seen her around town. Hope she stays away as per NC order. Bad news is about cousin with sick daughter. SD will be sick daughter. DSD will be cousin her dad. MSD will be mom, wife of cousin. She was eventually allowed home for a while. Had lots of equipment and medication. But hey, everyone was happy. SD was home for little while. Since start of pandemic, SD quarantined. Rarely went out. Same for DSD and MSD. Hardly allowed visitors. Elder children quarantined. Tested themselves before visiting. Wore masks when they came over. Took every precaution to heart. Were warned COVID could be death of her. Times they went out were when places quiet. People were scarce. Had subscription for grocery delivery. Weekly basis to their house. Driver blessed his heart. Found out about situation. Even went far as to disinfect himself. Mask up even though only put groceries at door. Wiped handles of crates and bags. DSD and MSD managed work from home. Entire time it was hard on them. Will cut story shorter. SD died. Contracted COVID. Already weak immune system couldn't handle it. Passed away. Didn't get it from parents or siblings. They tested regularly to be safe. Likely source was relative of MSD. Guy didn't take COVID seriously. Went someplace. Got symptoms afterward. Got tested because boss wouldn't let him on job site without negative test. Guy works in construction. Tested positive. Health services explained what to do. Boss did same. Boss would keep paying him. Had to stay home and quarantine. Back to story. MSD and DSD had troubles with leak. SD's room next to bathroom. Seeing wet spots on bedroom wall, figured it was leak. Called this relative. Asked if he had time. Explained situation. Asked him to take precautions. Said he would take precautions. Told them he tested negative. Maybe thought since couldn't work, would do this instead? Earn extra cash. Had to come into SD's room. Get tasks done. Took mask off several times. Coughing. Saying it was hot. Needed fresh air. Reminded every time to put mask back on. Asked to leave after couple times. Not to return. Work wasn't finished. They didn't care. Leak found. Taken care of with temporary fix. Couple days later, SD got very sick. Had to be transported to hospital. Tested positive for COVID. She died there. To say people devastated is understatement. DSD called me in tears couple days after passing. His tears were enough to know what happened. Could hear MSD screaming in background. Turns out she was calling relative about daughter's death. He informed her he was positive at time he was there. Cousin said goodbye quickly. Went to handle situation. Don't know what happened afterward. Only thing know is MSD cursed and yelled at him. For lying while knowing SD was ill. COVID was real threat to her. Received invitation to online funeral service. Hubby and I both attended. Sent flowers and card. Was almost 2 months ago. DSD video called last night. Wasn't man anymore? More of shell. Still so lost after losing daughter. His only daughter. His wife, they not doing well at all. Heartbreaking and devastating to see them. Talked about funds. They wanted to thank us anyway. Told them wanted to donate amount for research. They were glad we wanted to do so. That's update sooner than would have wanted. Not with news had hoped to share. Stay safe, people. Hope you have good and above all healthy holiday season. Update for Reddit people. Thought no more updates necessary. Peace seemed to have returned. Wasn't for long, however. Last time provided update on situation with cousin. Now writing about entitled cousin and blabbermouth related drama. For those not familiar with blabbermouth and entitled cousin drama, refer to previous posts. Hang on tight for another lengthy update. Starts with entitled cousin and blabbermouth staying in contact. They kept complaining, blaming all their misfortune on me. I'm the source of their problems. If I had just done what I was supposed to do, none of bad things would have happened. Entitled cousin had bright idea. I should be punished. What did they plan? Put me in hospital. Entitled cousin had friend follow me. Since don't work regular office hours. Took about 3 weeks to notice. Same person following around. Got scared. Have been followed in past. Nothing came of it then. Made me vigilant. Took some precautions to be sure. Made reports with law enforcement. Asked nice neighbor and wife. If they could keep eye out, they would. Nice neighbor has experience as PI. Law enforcement. Specializes in training police dogs. Happened about 2.5 weeks before Christmas. Walking on street, talking on phone. When entitled cousin and buddy dragged me onto Quiet Street. Proceeded to beat me. In lull. Managed to hit them where men tend to hurt. Adding some blows where could set off alarm with volume of ship's horn. To alert people. Tried best to get away. Where I'm from, civilians can't carry guns. No tasers or stun guns like in US. So save the get a gun talk. Police and ambulance came. Reports were made. Whole shebang. Brought to hospital. The damage assessment. Lot of bruises. 6 broken ribs. Broken wrist. Some bruising to organs. Doing all right. Had to stay for a while. Concerns about lungs, liver, and kidneys. Now who wondering where Blabbermouth is in story? Don't worry, I'll tell you. To preface, time we lived in neighborhood. Nice neighbor and wife became friends. Both know what happened, know about money. Provided friendship, extra sets of eyes. Dog for children to fawn over. Nice neighbor and wife don't have children. Not their choice, become another aunt and uncle to children. Children love nice neighbor and wife. Are Foo's biggest kid fans? Kids, nice neighbor wife, and nice neighbor just bit. We're begging for sleepover with them after quarantine. Testing negative on PCR tests and such. Nice neighbor, wife, and Foo had children over. Blabbermouth found out where kids were. Think she'd been following them. On day, entitled cousin and buddy beating me up. She went to them while outside. Tried to convince them to go with her. When they refused, she grabbed youngest. Tried to drag him with her. Bad move, Blabbermouth. Foo needed his walk. Children took him for that walk. Nice neighbor nearby? Not close enough to intervene swiftly. There was no need. Foo did. Moment she tried drag youngest away. Few came sprinting towards them. Started barking head off. Growling when wasn't. Nice neighbor heard his dog. Saw who was there with kids. Called cops while running towards situation. Little while later, Blabbermouth got to test. Quality of backseat of police vehicle. According to nice neighbor, she was behaving like Karen. Hope I used term right. Telling everybody in vicinity how nice neighbor should be arrested for having vile and dangerous dog. That she didn't do anything wrong. She's out on bail. Charged with attempted child abduction, breaking of no contact order. Entitled cousin and buddy also had bail set. Paid it along with some nice charges. As to what Blabbermouth was thinking, don't know. Know that entitled cousin's idea was to beat me into submission. Hubby had not so nice chat on phone. With entitled cousin's mother, as she called him, asked if we could drop charges. Turns out entitled cousin's boss fired him. Seems he had some disciplinary action going against him already. This was final straw in boss's eyes. Entitled cousin got to work, only to be led into office, to meet with his resignation papers. Found out where whole bow to will of family crap came from. Mommy dearest, she basically told hubby that if I had done what they asked, then nothing bad would have happened. I was from outside of family. So is she, married to uncle of hubby. So I should do as I was told. Just had enough time. Grab some snacks and drink. Listen to sweet sounds of him going ballistic. Was both lovely and scary to hear. Took phone when he paused. Told her she heard what he had to say. Whole spiel of contact my lawyer. Harassment, yada yada. Click and block. She hasn't called since. Note entitled cousin now had good job. That paid well. His wife also works. They able to pay bills. Save some money. Have extra to spend. He and wife and family have comfortable life. Not like they in dire straits with debts. So for people commenting, he must be desperate for money. He isn't. After this incident, couple attempted break-ins. Neighborhood watch was formed. Gave people involved photograph of Blabbermouth and entitled cousin. Told them only we had no contact orders against them. Asked them call law enforcement. If spotted in neighborhood. All in all had nice Christmas and New Year's Eve. We are doing as well as can be. Still sore. Have to go to hospital for checkups. Hubby and I getting progressively concerned. Since entitled cousin and Blabbermouth not deterred. By piece of paper stating no contact order. Moving again out of question. When hubby and I were talking one night, while kids were in bed, eldest had come downstairs. Overheard us. Was adamant didn't want to move. His reasons were, if they did this, we would move again after each escalation. We would have to keep moving. He felt safe in this home. With Foo, nice neighbor wife, and nice neighbor in vicinity. Other two agreed when talked with them in morning. Kids are shaken but doing relatively well, due to what happened. Also looking into therapy for all of us. Youngest quite shaken, but for now thinking more of how cool it was Foo protected him. How Blabbermouth was trying climb car. Eldest understands what happened bit better. More fearful. Nice neighbor and wife offered Foo for sleepovers, so kids feel safer. Also considering getting our own few. Nice neighbor already offered help. With purchase and training of dog. Hubby frantic with worry. About what might have happened. What entitled cousin might attempt in future. Also going to research. How to further protect ourselves. Talking with law enforcement. Our dear lawyer friend. Other people to see what possible, in terms of law, without turning neighborhood into heavily secured prison or something similar. So that's that update. Didn't think would come back with updates so soon. Grab snacks and drinks. Turn on music and dance with me. Or more for me. As ribs still hurt. Entitled cousin and blabbermouth arrested. Now discovering how jail looks from inside. Hubby and I both called by them, begging us to drop charges. With this, they broke no contact order and bail order. Got everything recorded. Then called law enforcement immediately. Along with dear lawyer friend. They were arrested. Just received news. Happy butt wiggle for me. Update, a small update. Don't have much to tell, but thought you might want to hear this. Entitled cousin and blabbermouth still adjusting to their new environment, aka prison, not to be released again until trial. We hope that won't change. So happy dance for us. But entitled cousin met someone else. That one is Karma, and Karma is a bitch. Was informed of this by none other than entitled cousin's wife, henceforth known as Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman came to my house, not to yell at me, curse me, or threaten me. Nope, she came to thank me. Was apprehensive. Didn't allow her inside. But what she put through mail slot made me invite her in. Wonder Woman's story, entitled cousin apparently financially and emotionally abusive. Never laid hand on her or children. Never abused them. But whatever money she earned, he made sure he got it. She only allowed to work for cash, so he could access it more easily. Whatever savings she had, he forced her to surrender it. In name of, we are a unit now, she was broken and afraid. He had threatened divorce and taking children because no judge would give her custody. Since she couldn't support them, in that case he wouldn't allow her see them, as she was bad wife and mother for leaving him. But now he was behind bars. She found rest of courage she needed, and access to all bank accounts, joint and her own, as well as other important things. Wonder Woman already had contact with divorce lawyer, but was too afraid to actually go through with it. Her parents spoken to her many times, advised her get some real legal advice. She finally did, but was biding her time. So when entitled cousin got arrested, went to prison for longer stay this time, she got locks changed, house in her name inheritance, put all his things in boxes, closed joint account after dividing money equally, did whole list of other things, can't remember. And on same day, he was served with papers. His parents got lot of boxes with his stuff. And letter, Wonder Woman was divorcing him. The stack of papers she gave me, copy of divorce papers. Wonder Woman was crying. She was and has been so afraid, apology after apology, about not being able to stop him from doing all those things. Reason she came, to let me know this. And how me getting beaten up, and entitled cousin breaking bail, was miracle she needed. She apologized. Because my misery enabled her escape, told her wasn't angry at her. She did what she could. Bit surprised about speed of everything. But with help from parents, her family and friends, she had been planning flight to freedom, as she called it, for at least 7-8 months. What set her in motion was visit and what he said about it all. It lifted whatever blindness she had. Wonder Woman finally believed those words others had said about entitled cousin. Took some time, but after getting help, Wonder Woman started planning everything. She's afraid but relieved. Wonder Woman crying tears of joy, fear and sadness all at once. Kept apologizing, although I assured her she had nothing to worry about. Her parents helping out financially for moment. As she looks for job, asked her about what she used to do. After telling me, gave old friend of mine call, knew he was looking for someone. Asked if he could send job description. As I know someone who might fit position. Wonder Woman looked, told me this might work. Friday she called me, say she has interview next week. Fingers crossed. Had good chat, gave her my number. Could call if needed help. Good at budgeting. Next week going to her to help. So entitled cousin in prison for time being. When he gets out, sooner or later, rather later, will be crappy for him. He will have no job, no home, no wife, no support from friends. His buddy told friend group everything. They dropped him fast, as if he was live grenade. Has record now. Might not be able go to parents, as father is furious, and disowned him. That is how up until this point, entitled cousin meets Karma. Let's see what else life, and hopefully Karma has in store for entitled cousin. Update someone commented on last post. They hoped Karma would come to him. Through his fellow prisoners. Do you have power to predict things? By any chance? Because that has happened. Lawyer friend keeps us up to date about both entitled cousin and blabbermouth. Whenever possible, entitled cousin was wise enough. Keep some details about reasons for his prison stay to himself. Smart man. Told that some people who reside there don't take it well when you hurt women or children, but his fellow prisoners did find out. He had beaten woman and helped plan child abduction. Well, he was given taste of own medicine. Only difference between him and me, I had serious injuries. He got beaten up, but only suffered bruises. No broken bones or internal injuries. Prison guards quick to intervene when it happened. As to how fellow prison people found out what he did, well, his mother visited him. They were talking. His mother does not have ability to whisper, so wouldn't be surprised. While they talked, others heard, and were not happy with what they heard. But that is guess. Her visit and what happened were mere hours apart. Update. Would like to introduce you to Coddle Mom. She's entitled cousin's entitled mother. Wonder Woman, aka entitled cousin's soon-to-be ex-wife, is also mentioned. To us, it seems like she is almost in complete agreement with her son. She doesn't like it one bit that her precious son had to trade his nice house with wife and children for prison cell and divorce papers. When Coddle Mom and entitled cousin's dad were met with entitled cousin's belongings, Coddle Mom lost her absolute mind. Wonder Woman called me to relay story. Coddle Mom called Wonder Woman, started her spiel of how dare you divorce my absolute gem of son. Puke anyone. Wonder Woman learned from me. Recorded everything in case needed it. Wonder Woman just simply waited till Coddle Mom had to draw some breath before she said something along lines. That entitled cousin should be happy. He wasn't charged with financial abuse as well. Proof of plenty, according to her. And since she loved her son so much, she could have him. As Coddle Mom always thought, Wonder Woman's only purpose was to provide entitled cousin with children and meet his every need. Some other things were said. Wonder Woman is woman whom I start to admire more with each passing day. Really, like she broke free and became something amazing. She doesn't care that people play family card. She learned from my mistakes. Unlike hubby or lawyer friend, she doesn't sugarcoat her words. She told me in no uncertain terms that I acted with too much caution and forgiveness. Should have burned them to ground the moment they started their nonsense. Have to admit I agree. Entitled cousin's dad walked in on conversation. Lost his mind on Coddle Mom. Wonder Woman told Coddle Mom she did not want any contact. Entitled cousin's dad could call. They would make arrangements for him to see grandchildren. Wonder Woman working with lawyer and social services on how to handle visits between Coddle Mom and grandchildren. Concerning things you will read below. So after getting earful from her soon-to-be ex, Coddle Mom started calling me and hubby, demanding we drop everything and beg for their forgiveness over nonsense like tearing family apart and not doing what was right. We recorded, hung up, blocked her, saved everything we needed, filed for no contact order. But when all her antics didn't work, she tried something else. Seemed to have learned from her son, where I lived. So she came to our house, but as we have doorbells with cameras, love the invention. With recording settings, could enjoy show from my spot on couch, while she dug her own grave. Like hell I was opening door. With Coddle Mom outside? Ha 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 ha, no lady. Heck no. Was so glad children and hubby not home. Screams alternated between, how dare you do this to my son? I am going to insert violence here to you. And, you should have given him what he wanted. That is how it's done. Hello medieval mindset, where men matter, and women only matter to give men what they want. Understood in instant, where entitled cousin got this. Bow down to will of family mentality from, too bad couldn't get snacks or drinks. Due to doctor's orders for rest, but watching from cameras, as Coddle Mom lost her mind, started throwing everything she could at my home. Then got arrested by our town's finest people in blue. Was priceless. Also slightly disappointed. She didn't get to meet Fu, and my fourth baby Lefu. Yep, we got dog. Li Fu is super sweet. Rottweiler mix. About 2 years old. Total lapdog for us. Just right kind of protective. Was already being trained by name he had. Turns out nice neighbor wife knows breeder. Was asked to name pups of this litter. Lefu and my family. Been doing extensive training with nice neighbor. That day Lefu was at vet. With hubby and kids. For meet and greet and health inspection. So hello lawyer friend. Do you still have spare time? Now you don't. Or have even less. Lawyer friend sometimes wonders if hubby was adopted. Can't believe sheer stupidity of some of his family members. Spoiler, he isn't adopted. Join the club. Wonder Woman has also been updated about this. Thought might need it. In case of Coddle Mom and visitation of grandkids. Oh, and Wonder Woman got the job. She is also in process of further protecting herself, but won't share that info. Don't condone violence, but that woman should be happy. Neither my husband, kids, Lefu, nice neighbor wife, nor Fu were around. She would have been toast. But hey, plus side is, she now knows how bench and cell feels. From my point of view at least. Update. Last week on Saturday, went to have coffee with father-in-law and mother-in-law. As we often do, made sure to give them call, notifying them we would be coming. So father-in-law could notify Blabbermouth-in-law. In case he wanted to come and see, no contact order works fine. Blabbermouth not in mood for visits. From our local people in blue and fines, kids came with us. Hubby's other sister was there as well. Second child of father-in-law and mother-in-law. Kids love her, although she very opinionated. Can only see things in black and white. No middle ground. She and Blabbermouth do not get along. That was even before I became part of family. For sake of post, I'll call her Lucy. We get there, get our drinks and cake, having nice chat. When mother-in-law blew it, we told them during these visits, would not discuss situation with Blabbermouth, an entitled cousin. If she wanted to do so, we would see each other for that. At different time and day, we want these visits to be about other things. This was firmly explained to mother-in-law, especially as she began to talk about Blabbermouth. Twice in a row, she stopped after we just got up and left. But last week she did it again. Mother-in-law started to say she felt so sorry for Blabbermouth, how awful it must be for her. We told her to stop. As this not what we came for? Lucy also told her to stop. Then mother-in-law asked questions she should never have asked. Don't you have pity? Don't you feel sorry for her? Kaboom. My youngest two started crying. My eldest, hubby, Lucy, and I all flipped our lids. Hubby and I decided, needed to deal with our children. Took them outside, made sure they were calm. Felt safe before I went back in. Lucy was still grilling her mother. Told her she could stop. Mother-in-law wasn't crying, just looked at me with numb look. For lack of better description, my speech to mother-in-law almost verbatim. To answer your questions, no, I don't feel sorry for her, nor do I pity her. We helped her with her home. We helped and still help her children with college education, and if they do it right, with a home. We took you all on holiday, unbeknownst to you all. It was my good word that got her job she has now. When I was asked, because although I hate her entitlement and way she talks about me, I acknowledge she incredibly good at her job, would never screw someone over. If thought they were good at their job and reasonably decent to those they work with, she wanted more. She demanded we give more, only because we are related, because we're family, like obligation to do whatever she wants. She always thought she had priority over me. Hubby and our family, simply because she had her children first, she told hubby to divorce me because I would never amount to anything. Every form of education I pursued was waste of time and money. But moment we have money, she demands it. When she heard word no to her outrageous demand, she lashed out at family, against our wishes, causing all troubles we face now, destroying relationships in process. She talked with entitled cousin about attacking me, hurting me, and abducting our children, and acted on it. I needed surgery for sake. Because of that attack, and I'm not out of woods yet, our children are in therapy because she tried to take them against their will. Hubby is in therapy because of her and entitled cousin. As he feels like he can't protect his family, I will be fine. But she had audacity to hurt my family. Don't ever expect me to feel sorry for her. After all crap she has put my family through. Her own family for sake. Family only has value to her when she can get something from them, no matter cost to others, as long as she gets what she wants, without need to pay. You won't be seeing me or children for time. Don't care what hubby decides. You are his mother. Will never tell him he can't see you or talk to you. I love you with all my heart. Thank you for raising my husband to be man he is now, but will not put children through this. Sheer favoritism and hurt it causes them. To father-in-law, we won't be coming for a while. Have so much to deal with already. Can't have mother-in-law adding to it. I or hubby will give call to discuss some things. With that, grabbed coats and left. Hubby had call with father-in-law later. They had lengthy conversation about how he was fed up with his mother's favoritism towards sister. During conflicts, told father-in-law holds no grudge against him, but needs break. Lucy and I needed to do shopping together yesterday. She told me mother-in-law could only sit afterward. According to Lucy and father-in-law, after we left, father-in-law didn't say anything to her. Just took mugs, plates, and other items to kitchen, placed them in dishwasher, wiped everything down, then sat on chair looking at her calmly saying, "You blew it." The daughter-in-law, who forgave so much, was willing to let so much slide, who helped us out immensely, who tried not to involve law because of us and our family, has had enough, and she is right. Mother-in-law started crying. Lucy was asked to leave then. To her credit, she leaves us be. Normally would have taken her to appointments, but she and father-in-law made other arrangements. For time being, we are no contact with mother-in-law for a while. My children are devastated. New mother-in-law had soft spot for Blabbermouth, but shocked grandmother ignores pain. Her own daughter causes to her son. Daughter-in-law and grandchildren. They miss her, have a lot of questions. Hubby is broken and angry. Had talk with his therapist about it. He misses her. But told me his mother needs to learn harsh lesson now. Told him once again. Would never demand he stop seeing his mother. If he wishes he can go or call. Whatever. Wouldn't be angry. He knows my boundaries. I simply won't visit her, nor willing to talk to her for now. We don't want children to go there either. If she wishes to apologize, fine. Not now as I'm still fuming. If when she wants to apologize, she will have to come up with insanely good apology. Not willing to sweep this obvious favoritism under rug. Done that too often already. For now, have her blocked on my phone. Have removed myself from family group chat. Love my mother-in-law tremendously. She helped us a lot when children were little. In our times of need, they and my parents were there. Have always respected our parenting decisions, even though did not always agree with them. When mother-in-law and father-in-law babysat, they respected our wishes. She would freestyle when kids bit older, but made sure they got sleep, ate healthy meals and snacks, with occasional treat and such, was always treated with love and respect. Helped them out whenever and however could. So this hurts. She has seen me in hospital. She saw what was done to me. Has seen fear my children had and have. Has seen hurt in hubby's eyes. She has seen this all. And all she knows and does is turn semi-blind eye to her daughter's actions. She acknowledges entitled cousin actions against us. But not what her own daughter's hello therapist. I just want this nightmare to end. Update. Mother-in-law contacted hubby. She went over to our house. Hubby was home alone. Took week off. We're expecting parcel delivery. Delivery man came. Hubby checked cameras. Went to open door. Parcel signature, yada yada. As man went, mother-in-law came. She approached him. Started talking. Hubby just stood there, with parcel in hands. After she stopped talking, he told her, Mom, your own daughter tried to hurt your own son and harmed your daughter-in-law and grandchildren. She knew Op would be attacked and encouraged it. If she did not, she knew, and didn't care what would happen to her. She didn't report it or do anything to try and stop it. My wife will probably need surgery again. Side note, left kidney, liver, and spleen were always problematic, thanks to entitled cousin and beating, even more so. To point they might need to be removed. We'll hear this tomorrow. Now you ask us to pity her and show mercy. When all that happened was because she broke law, she hurt us. You keep choosing her, even when moments like this happen, and hit you across face. When you witness damage she has caused, with your own eyes, you continue finding excuses for her terrible behavior. I've had enough. I know you love her, and I will never ask you to take sides. I only ask you to condemn her behavior and actions. Nothing else. You don't. By asking us to show mercy and feel pity, you don't. We don't blame you for what happened. We blame Blabbermouth and entitled cousin. Don't blame yourself for what they did. Stop defending her. Get therapy. You need it. You need to see what is happening and accept that by no fault of yours, your daughter hurt others. I love you, Mom. Now you need to go away. I don't want to talk to you. When you continue to excuse her behavior and harm she caused to others, don't contact us. We will contact you. If we ever feel ready to. Then he shut door and locked it. Mother-in-law just stood there for a moment and left. Found hubby bawling his eyes out. When returned home hour later, sent recordings from doorbell camera to lawyer friend in case we need no contact order from mother-in-law. Don't think so, as he is golden son. She always tends to do as he says, but better safe than sorry. An evening father-in-law came by to watch game with hubby. He told us what happened. After mother-in-law got home, father-in-law asked where she had gone. She began to cry, scream, etc., and relay what happened, that she doesn't want to lose her son and his family. She questioned why it had come to this, to which father-in-law truthfully replied that his son hubby was right. She kept choosing her daughter over her son. No matter what, that she can still love her daughter, but condemn what she did. She doesn't. Mother-in-law told him that all she feels is need to protect her child, to which father-in-law responded that while maybe understandable, by doing so, she hurts her other child who also needs her. Paraphrased. Love both and don't choose sides. Your daughter hurt your son and his family. Your son suffers because his own sister has hurt his wife and his children. He is in pain because she cares more about getting what she wants. He is hurt because you can't see that. Love both as is natural to you, as loving mother, but open your eyes to pain that has been caused. She asked father-in-law if he could assist. With hubby and me, this is how he responded. Again paraphrased. I will not lift finger to help you. In this situation with them, this is entirely your own doing. I have warned you many times in past. especially in last year, that this might happen, that these actions might have this outcome. Our son's idea of therapy might be good suggestion. However, this will not automatically mean you get to see them again and be in their lives. Before this mess started, hubby and Op were kind, had open mind, trusting, tended to see good in people. When bad things happened, they tried to see what caused it and condemned it whenever deemed warranted. They still are good, kind people. They still try to see and figure out what caused certain things, but they have become suspicious of people's motives. They aren't so trusting anymore. They are scared that they will get hurt, that children will get hurt. If you ever want a chance to see them again, you need to respect them and their decisions. Accept that they might not forgive you. Whatever you do, by now you know that they, and especially Op, will not excuse behavior in name of family any longer. She and our son have finally learned to stand up to such degree that nobody dares mess with them. You and Op are both loving individuals. You love your husbands, children, and others. Difference between two of you is Op is now willing to go ballistic. When she feels her children and or husband are threatened, don't mess with this mama bear. She will not back down. If you go too far, and you know it. Em just kept crying silent tears. Lucy tells me that her mother is a shell of who she was. She keeps saying she lost her son and his family. Keeps saying how sorry she is. Honestly feel like karma came for MEOL. Don't feel any urge to have contact with her. She is elderly and I know she might die without ever seeing us again. It hurts a lot. She really means so much to me. But I will not expose myself or my children to her favoritism. She may be crying about how sorry she is, but I will only believe her if she proves it. I don't believe words anymore, just actions. What we need is for her to show us that love for Blabbermouth should not blind her to this degree. I hope she can. I truly hope so. She won't get a get out of time out card because she is family. Dear Reddit family, time for another update. Started writing about my experiences to gain insights and blow off steam. Found out my posts have been used by several YT channels. That's fine. Was primarily interested in the comments when I found out. They really opened my eyes. Showed me that I was naive, gullible, and an incredible doormat. Maybe even more than what Hubby and LF told me. NW and NN found out about the posts. They agree with you all. Other family members discovered the posts too. Weren't happy with it at first? When they read the responses and saw everything from my perspective, they felt even more ashamed than they already did. In one of my last posts, people gave lots of advice on protecting ourselves. Thank you all for that. We have been attending self-defense and martial arts classes when possible. Children were given alarms. Schools were informed about what happened. Protocols were established for their safety. Sold our cars and bought others. Parked them a few streets away now. Have most groceries delivered. Consulted companies specializing in home defense. They helped make our home feel secure again. Have contract with that company. If things go wrong, they know to get to us ASAP. Local law enforcement has big red flag attached to our phone numbers and address. Don't expect much now, but better to be safe than sorry. We certainly learned that. Neighborhood Watch is a success. Have experienced far fewer attempted break-ins and thefts. Children have regained courage to walk LeFou on their own. Without me or hubby. Not as scared as they were after the debacle with Blabbermouth and EC. Discussions with therapists helped a lot. Eldest struggles sometimes. Believes being eldest means taking care of siblings without exception. Needed surgery as the beating made pre-existing health issues worse. Hubby still restless at times. Has taken self-defense and martial arts lessons seriously. Thought and sometimes still thinks he failed in his duty to protect family. With help of therapist, he can shake that feeling more. Told him many times he never failed us. He loves us and has always been there for us. As father and husband, eldest takes after hubby a lot in this regard. Not surprising since I proudly gave birth to hubby's clone. NN has been great help. Sometimes men need another man to tell them what they need to hear. Without therapist talk. Current status update on everyone involved. Mill's timeout happened around 3 weeks ago. This happened today. Lucy and Phil, no problems. Entitled cousin still in prison. Secluded because inmates really don't like him. Not even wondering why. Coddle mom, entitled cousin's mother. Still being coddle mom. No contact order with Bill was lifted last week. No harassment or other issues. So no reason for extension. He isn't blocked on our phones. If people want to dig their own graves, I'm all for assisting. Blabbermouth still in prison. Has woe is me attitude. Only our lawyers talk with each other and the prosecutor. The hell hag still has active no contact order. She's blocked on my phone, not on hubby's. Same reason as with Belle. Lawyer friend, hero without a cape, devil without horns. Worth every penny, cent, dollar. Blabbermouth's lawyer. Brother my lawyer, my 6 feet tall brother, has build of a tank, strong as one, kind-hearted no-nonsense man, sister-in-law brother's partner, Maggie for the sake of posts, nice neighbor and nice neighbor's wife. Phew, nice neighbor and nice neighbor's wife's loving dog, another hero without a cape, will take snacks and cuddles as his reward. Lefu, our own loving dog, hero in training, who will also take snacks and cuddles as his reward. Part 1. Lawyer friend called us. Got a call from Blabbermouth's lawyer. Blabbermouth wants to plead guilty in exchange for no time in prison. As of now, she faces between 5 to 10 years if she's found guilty. Thought this crap wasn't possible. According to lawyer friend, she hardly has a chance at that. She can get ankle electronic device control, but no more if she goes for guilty plea. What surprised us is that Blabbermouth's lawyer called lawyer friend directly, instead of going through their lawyer. So what does our beloved lawyer friend do? Laughs on the phone, hangs up, calls their lawyer, tells them what Blabbermouth's lawyer has done. Apparently Blabbermouth's lawyer just sighed deeply, thanked lawyer friend before hanging up. Our thoughts? Blabbermouth and Blabbermouth's lawyer don't hear what they want from their own lawyer, so they try it through ours. Nice try. Part 2. Blabbermouth's lawyer's visit. Several days after lawyer friend called about Blabbermouth and her delusion fantasy, received several texts from 4 of our beloved nieces and nephews. They're Blabbermouth's and Bill's kids. Number 5 doesn't like me. Like his mother, blames me for all her misfortunes. We know the only reason he doesn't bother us is that his parents warned him to stay out of this. As of now, he hasn't messed up, so we are still somewhat willing to pay for his college education. The other 4 kids and we have good relationship. They know what Mother Dear has tried to do. Have decided on their own they're done with her entitled nonsense, and with their father semi-enabling it. 1 and 2 have moved out. 3 and 4 can't yet, but are rarely home since their mother is in jail. Eldest 2 decided to drop in on their father and younger siblings, to keep an eye out and help when needed. Bill was very unhappy and angry, knows what Blabbermouth did was wrong, but thinks the whole kidnapping and assault thing is blown out of proportion. They were all having lunch. Bill came up with an amazing idea to have a talk with me, and to an extent hubby, whose phone explodes with texts after that lunch. Mine and hubby's eldest niece managed to get a time frame from her father, texted us. Since we didn't want our children to watch whatever might transpire, asked brother and Maggie if they could go there for a couple of days, hang out with their cousins. There was no problem after explaining situation. Children were scared but want to leave. Brother flexes his muscles. They love that. Tells them he will keep them safe. Then we call nice neighbor and nice neighbor's wife. Explain situation. Ask if they are available in case we need witnesses and help. Before we could finish asking, heard doorbell ring. Nice neighbor's wife and few were there. I really love these people and dog. So some hours later, Bill makes his grand appearance. For those wondering if we invited him in, of course not. Heck, we didn't even open door. The doorbell camera has its own altar at our home. Well, almost. He began his sob story about how Blabbermouth didn't mean it. She was sorry. Yada da yada yada. Sob sobi sobi. He asked, begged through his sobs, if we could drop the charges. Tell him, nah, even if I could, I wouldn't. Oh, Bill, fun fact. The prosecutor is the one who decides that now. You know, because what Blabbermouth did are felonies. You don't get to try to abduct people and get away with slap on wrist. You don't get to show your big blue eyes and get away with aiding and abetting assault. Even if he changes his mind, it won't be because of your puppy eyes begging, but because of lack of evidence, of which he has plenty. You know that? I'm certain your lawyer has told you this. So why the heck are you trying it here? Oh, right, because you and Blabbermouth don't want to hear no. Last but not least, hubby, the children and I will be lots safer if her entitled behind is in jail, and not polluting free air with her sense of entitlement. After hearing this piece of information, Bill became angry. Family this, family that. More family helps each other crap. And the golden phrase was, but she's family, and you don't hurt family. To which we responded, but we're her family, why did she hurt us then? No response. He just stood there, then started cursing. How I was a SLT, a bish. And that it was all my fault. Sure, Bill, blame the one who helped pay off your mortgage and your children's tuition, because all we wanted was to help family. If you don't want the money, then we would like to have it back. Would you like to pay it back all in one go or a payment plan? Yes, we were semi-teasing. He raged on about that. How dare you, and it's not funny. Of course it isn't funny, but what isn't funny as well is that Blabbermouth only accepted me when it suited her, and when things happened the way she wanted. If not, she would try to manipulate matters and people, so she could still get something of what she wanted. We helped you, and when we said no to an absurd request, she lost her ever-loving mind. She destroys relationships, both good and neutral ones. She destroyed our sense of safety and our health, and so on. For what? A holiday of which I know you have the money, or at least a good part of it. You don't like that she's in jail. That's fine. She reaps what she sows. You and Blabbermouth should talk to your lawyer to see what can be done about this with least amount of damage. Family means nothing to you and Blabbermouth when it doesn't get you anything. Go away. We will call the cops and see if we can get more no-contact orders and restraining orders shoved up your behind. Oh, and don't try anything stupid. Look at entitled cousin and Blabbermouth to see how that one worked out. After saying something along the above lines, he left. We made copy of video footage, called police, went through entire process again. Lawyer friend came by for visit, was baffled and actually sighed. He simply can't understand their thought process. Turns out Coddle Mom was also giving him rough time by basically demanding he do something about her son being in jail. So he did something? He basically told her to shove off in legal way, unless she wants to spend money on her own lawyer and endure unpleasant side effects from such legal papers. Like mentioned earlier, I needed surgery. Nice neighbor's wife offered to stay when hubby is away, to help me and keep eye out. She can work from home and assist in case family nut jobs return. She has become more than friend. When she isn't working, we talk a lot, have gotten to know each other on deeper level. Turns out nice neighbor's wife had been in similar situation, with an ex gone crazy. Even after she got together with nice neighbor, they try to help whenever they can, as they understand the anxiety, insecurity, and fear. No ex problems for her, thankfully. Update. A small but worthy update. Eldest is my eldest child. Youngest the youngest one. Lawyer friend this time. Blabbermouth and Bill's youngest child, 18M, I'll call him Entitled Apple Kid, as apparently the apple does not fall far from the tree. Entitled Apple Kid is going to start college in September. If everything goes well, as some Redditors might know, I have college fund for some people in family, Entitled Apple Kid included. It has strict stipulations, only covers books and tuition. No extracurriculars, housing or living expenses. They want to live someplace else? Fine, on your own dime for that. At start of this whole drama, eldest had finished college. Second is set on graduating this year. Two middle ones are busy with college. Entitled Apple Kid is last one. With all that happened, Entitled Apple Kid reared his head from time to time. With offhand remarks, initially demanded money. We made it very clear in words and on paper, if he continued with this, or did other things that were by law not allowed, he could waive his funds goodbye. Hubby and I operated on notion. A child shall not suffer for its parents' blatant stupidity. If they decide to be stupid themselves, they shall reap what they sow. Blabbermouth and Bill have had stern talks with Entitled Apple Kid to keep his head down and focus on his studies so he could get his things paid for. They have always known we would never just hand over money, but get information, confirm it, and pay for it. Still, they didn't complain about that free money. About the incident, have instructed eldest not to escalate situations, call us or law enforcement, seek out other adults if needed and possible in case of conflict. Filming whatever he could was something he had already figured out. Well, Entitled Apple Kid and eldest met by chance couple days ago, while eldest and his siblings went out together. Eldest just gave him hello and turned to walk away. Entitled Apple Kid didn't like seeing him or whatever, started to shout and curse at eldest, preventing him from leaving. My two youngest heard commotion, ran to their brother's aid. Youngest started filming. Entitled Apple Kid kept pushing his chest against eldest. Compliments to my son. He never hurt him and stayed calm. When Entitled Apple Kid grabbed his shirt, he used some of his skills in self-defense to ensure Entitled Apple Kid let him go, but nothing else. My middle child then said to Entitled Apple Kid, "Is it family trait to want to go to jail or something? If you hurt him, you will go there. You might see your mother again?" Entitled Apple Kid stopped, looked at them all, and ran for it. Kids got home, showed me the footage, along with witnesses' footage and contact details. We made trip to police station to file report, then called our lovely lawyer friend to set things in motion for restraining order, or whatever is possible. After all that, made copy of footage my children made and police report. Sent it to Bill. Attached note saying, another student thanks them for their donation of college fund. Since Entitled Apple Kid decided he can do without, he threw away his chance with his own actions. According to eldest niece, their parents were not happy at all. Update another update on my mill. This one is short. Store recap. Blabbermouth is in jail. Mill asks us for mercy and pity. We tell her heck no. We tell Mill to get therapy and go no contact. People in story. Mill. Good woman. But her love for daughter Blabbermouth makes her utterly and completely blind. We are no contact with her. Phil, good and wonderful man. Lucy, another sister of hubby, not entitled. Hubby. My husband, rock, stand-up comedian, and greatest love. Eldest, my eldest child. Youngest, my youngest child. Born 5 minutes after their twin. Yep, I have twins. No, not identical, different genders. Though their characters are freakishly alike. Therapist, Mill's therapist. This week, Lucy came by for coffee. Gave us some maybe shocking news. Mill has found therapist. This one is part of same practice as our therapist. We never told Mill who our therapist was, or where we went. Lucy said Mill already had some sessions, but didn't know details. Okay, that's good sign. Well, we still view it with some suspicion. But let's see where this takes us. Then last night Phil came by again, told us without our prompting that Mill had found therapist. Had very intense first couple of sessions. Phil has joined couple of them. So therapist could gather other perspectives. He didn't tell us before, because he wanted to be sure it wasn't one-time thing. It seems Mill came home after session, when Phil asked her how it went and how she felt. She seemed to have said something like, "I really made stupid mistakes, didn't I?" Phil asked her why she thought so. She told him what he had said to her. See previous posts, was something that therapist said as well. Therapist apparently said, that to love child isn't wrong, but actions caused by that love can do wrong to child, and to extend others as well, or something like this. She seemed very sorry. Understood better what went wrong. Mill is finally beginning to understand consequences of her actions. Hallelujah. We remain no contact for now. We like to think this is good start to Mill's learning process. Although it seems like good news, we are still apprehensive about letting her into our lives. As of now, our therapist knows about all this, has asked us to think about family therapy. We are considering this, but we want Mill to truly understand why her actions drove us to go no contact. Let's see what this brings. Update. Hello, Redditors. It has been month. Would like to give you update on current situation. Cast of characters. Hubby, my soulmate. Phil, my father-in-law. Lucy, hubby's sister, elder sister of Blabbermouth, younger than hubby. Mill, my mother-in-law. Spawn of Blabbermouth, Blabbermouth's youngest one who kissed his college fund goodbye, henceforth known as son of Blabbermouth. Nice neighbor, nice neighbor's wife. Update on my health. I'm healing quite well. Am home now. Doctors are pleased with my recovery. Can walk longer distances and work from home. Don't work to fullest capacity, but grateful I can do some things again. The update. To my utter surprise, Mill continues with therapy, goes once, sometimes twice a week. According to Phil, has been making significant progress. Mill has asked us to go to one or more sessions with her. It was her own idea. She wanted us to discuss it within confines of therapy room, as she feels therapist is unbiased. All right, Mill, you scored another point for yourself. In my still suspicious eyes, hubby and I talked about it with each other and our therapist. Made list of what we wanted to discuss and what we didn't. We went in and it went quite well. Therapist started explaining why we were asked. We could express our thoughts. Mill told them she finally understood our standpoint. She had written down some examples hubby had used. She had talked with Phil and other family members about situations in which she blatantly favored Blabbermouth. To keep it brief, she explained why she felt how she felt, acknowledged she should have handled things differently, apologized if she took Blabbermouth's side too much. She felt Blabbermouth was like her in some ways, not the entitled ways, and therefore couldn't help herself. Okay, hubby and I just absorbed what she had said. I simply asked what made her see it this way, some uncomfortable shifting from her side. While asking what I meant, I asked therapist if I could be honest. Blunt to a point, I could to a point. I told Mill that if things got difficult, or when she wants things to stop happening, she starts ignoring what happens. Like an ostrich, she sticks her head in sand, hoping everything just blows over. Going to therapy and uncovering every little dirty thing about this was difficult. What has happened that made her go against this tactic of hers? She looked me in the eye and said, "The therapist made me see you and hubby as kind people who love their family to fault. Allowing a lot, maybe too much. That you love me? I ruined so much by my actions." Phil said same. Aunts and uncles said same. Even ones who hurt you. The fact that my own son, you and children didn't want contact with me was a wake-up call. I know what I did was stupid, but I had feeling you blamed me for everything that happened. And what was still going on, I asked if I could speak on my own behalf. I told her I didn't blame her for what was going on. Didn't blame her for things entitled cousin or Blabbermouth did. Those were their choices, not hers. She had nothing to do with any of it directly. However, I told her, by giving in so much in childhood, adolescence, and adulthood, Blabbermouth got accustomed to getting her way and expecting others to do what she wanted. If she didn't get her way, she would manipulate to get her way. What felt like knife through our heart is, I was attacked and in danger. Our children were in some danger. And she kept asking for pity and mercy for Blabbermouth, condoning her actions, not looking at or not wanting to see what she was doing to us. That went too far. That hurt too much. We understand that she loves her daughter, but it is her selective blindness, her condoning and excusing that behavior. That just hurt us the most. I repeated what I have stated before. Love her as you want. I cannot and won't tell you who to love or not. But look at the actions of a person, the facts of them. She hurt us. Your son, me and your grandchildren? We also matter. Hubby said he agreed with this, added his own feelings as well. She started crying, saying she was sorry. She simply didn't or couldn't believe one child was hurting another one. It ended there, with new appointment for couple of weeks, summer holiday for therapist. I think it's good start. So to be continued, no contact will continue outside of sessions. In meantime, we have also had to deal with son of Blabbermouth. Blabbermouth's youngest. Last time he tried to intimidate my eldest, and by doing so, he could say farewell to his college fund. The grapevine, his elder siblings, told me his father Bill shouted at him for his stupidity. Son of Blabbermouth had been warned not to do anything against us. We were still willing to let him use funds for college education, but he had to stay out of situation. Bill and Blabbermouth were told that very, very clearly, thanks to lawyer friend, and they made sure son of Blabbermouth understood. Well, son of Blabbermouth wasn't too pleased. He got yelled at by his father and by his mother during visit. He didn't like that. Whatever funds his mommy and daddy have or had were now being used for lawyer fees. He wasn't quite sure if there would be money left after everything. He didn't like that. He got firm and resounding, "Screw you, no," from his two eldest siblings after he demanded they pay for his college education. His reasoning was, since they had jobs, they should help him out. He didn't like that both sets of grandparents aren't helping him out either, with money. He didn't like it that he didn't get any support or sympathy from anyone. He certainly didn't appreciate when he asked our aunts and uncles for money and started to whine. Everything fell on deaf ears. He was told that this was a lesson he needed to learn. Poor son of Blabbermouth. Many things happened that he didn't like, and in true Blabbermouth fashion, he blamed it on our family. What does idiot do? He came to our house, and like entitled cousin, family stupidity, I think, he showed up at our house. Unfortunately for him, Few and Leifu were waiting for him in backyard, out of sight. When he climbed over our fence, nice neighbor's wife, and we were at some elder neighbors, couple houses away. Since Lady is bit scared of dogs, we opted to leave them in our yard. The couple has adopted us. Since Lady of House is amazing cook and baker to say least, we love to visit place and help them out with what is needed. We were sitting in their yard chatting, when we heard screams and barks. I can't really run, so I go and check footage of our home cameras. Lo and behold, son of Blabbermouth is crouching on same table entitled cousin was, when he had to flee from 100 pounds of protective muscle, fat and sweetness, aka Few. Now, son of Blabbermouth got honor and pleasure to meet Few and LeFou at same time. Son of Blabbermouth was not happy. Blue-clothed lads and ladies armed with shiny and not-so-shiny accessories show up. Take him away. We don't think he can be legally charged with anything more than trespassing. But beggars can't be choosers. According to our inside informants on that side, safe to say, Bill not being happy would be understatement. Son of Blabbermouth was picked up from station. Got tore some brand new holes. Got his game consoles, iPad, and everything deemed non-essential taken from him by his father. Has limited access to his laptop. School only. And has been grounded to boot. Son of Blabbermouth is sulking a lot according to his siblings. When he started to cry to one of his brothers, he was told it was his own fault, and that he was stupid. He certainly doesn't get any pity from others. Why is son of Blabbermouth so entitled? Blabbermouth coddled him. That had more impact on him than when his father set him straight. We do hope that away from influence of evil mother, it might set him straight. Let's keep our fingers crossed for this. Also, our court date is getting closer. As of now, it is scheduled for end of October. If there aren't any delays, I'll update again after that. Update. First of all, not really familiar with Reddit. Just found out I had tons of messages from readers that I have missed. Didn't know people could also do that. Try to reply to as many as I can, due to sheer number of them and limited time. Not always able to respond. My apologies. Some people ask me to update on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is ex-wife of entitled cousin. She is doing amazing. Sold house and car that was in her name. Moved away to place she is unwilling to share. Has P.O. box somewhere. We see each other whenever we can. In beginning, she looked so drained and scared. But now, wow. Wonder Woman looks amazing. Kids are doing great. Wonder Woman has jobs she truly enjoys. Her parents help when they can with childcare. Her ex-father-in-law, father of entitled cousin, does get to see grandchildren. But without Coddle Mom, her ex-mill, what I didn't know is, Coddle Mom tried to get custody of children by involving Child Protective Services with false accusations. She got slap on wrist, to which ex-father-in-law told her not to do anything stupid. as he would divorce her. Since they have prenup, she would be left with lot less, still comfortable than she has now. Coddle Mom loves to brag about her status, so divorce is not something she wants. It took a while, but slowly, Wonder Woman told family members and friends what entitled cousin was doing. He never hit her. No physical or sexual abuse. Still, there is plenty of emotional and financial abuse. I won't share details, Wonder Woman asked me not to, but she is managing it as best she can. Like us, she, her parents, friends, and relatives are somewhat afraid of what might happen if entitled cousin gets out of jail. She has good lawyer, so they are like us, busy with protective measures. This is entitled cousin we're dealing with. He is stupid, and we are casually placing bets on how long it will take for him to show up. And where? So small but nice update. I'm glad she is doing better. Update? A small update for you all. Hopefully, this post will find you in good health and spirits. First, abbreviations and people explained once more. Lawyer friend, hubby, my husband, mill, my mother-in-law, hubby's mother, nice neighbor, nice neighbor's wife, coddle mom, entitled cousin's mother. The trials have started. Can't say anything about what is discussed until it's all over and done with. Can tell you that both entitled cousin and blabbermouth seemed extremely nervous yet somewhat confident, arrogant even, when we, hubby and I, saw them first day. We have not returned since. I have work that needs to be done, and hubby has trouble seeing his own family in stands. Another point is, we have little desire to spend our time in courtroom, looking at people who caused so much misery in our lives. Victim statements are in file, and those will be read out when it's time. Lawyer friend updates us, as well as some friends and my parents, who apparently decided for themselves they wanted to be present every time, or whenever they could. I told them it isn't necessary, especially since my parents are elderly, but my mother simply flashed me a look that said enough. My father isn't man of many words, but lets his actions speak for him most of time. He said, "In our time of need, you and your brother are there for us. Now we are doing what we should as parents, and what we have always tried to do, be there for you both in your time of need. Besides, I want to see what kind of people they are with my own eyes. My friends essentially agreed with my father. I was there for their highs and lows. Now it's time to return favor. My more mischievous friends say they are going as often as they can, just to see how big hole they dig for themselves. I love these people. Hubby is not doing so well. As I said, he has hard time dealing with fact that his own sister and cousin are on trial for harming me and trying to take his children. Anger and sadness are his two main emotions. The children are also quite nervous. We keep them informed about how things are, and lawyer friend is doing great job, providing unbiased information on what happens and how court proceedings work. Eldest especially is one for details and nuances. He wants to know everything. Apart from being nervous, they feel frightened once more. All this time, entitled cousin and blabbermouth were locked in cell, safely away from them. Now they realize that verdict will be given. On time they will serve. If they will have to serve at all, we like to keep their release an option, as you never know. Therapist visits have increased to once a week online and once a week in real life. Nice neighbor and nice neighbor's wife increased their visits with few. Kids sleep better now that Lifu is with us as well. Nothing works better to soothe their anxiety than some gentle giants giving hugs and slobbery kisses. And who will go into protective mode when needed? Things with Mill have become somewhat better, but she seems to be at crossroads now that her daughter's trial has started. She has started her "oh my poor daughter" spiel again. We don't blame her, and she has kept whole "have pity on her" out of her vocabulary. Coddle Mom also made appearance. She decided in her infinite wisdom that it was good idea to show up on our doorstep day before trial started. We saw her through doorbell camera. Nice neighbor saw her and asked if he could help. Smart man kept her in front of camera entire time. She asked in rather rude manner who he was, when he stated he lived in neighborhood and was walking his dog. She told him she was there on urgent legal matter. She was there to drumroll, please threaten us with legal action. If we didn't stop court proceedings, her grounds, her son was provoked by my actions, and thus it was self-defense. Therefore, everything in court didn't need to happen, and we should drop charges. Entitled cousin should be found not guilty, and if that couldn't happen, we should tell judge jury that. Coddle Mom continued that, if we didn't, she had no choice but to take matters into her own hands and contact our country's child protective services, claiming we were hurting our children, and file charges against us for defamation. Nice neighbor can be serious when needed, but in face of this blatant stupidity, entitlement, and or delusion, you choose. He just laughed. He explained to her that this was not how it works, and that she just stated she is trying to blackmail us by lying. But entitled cousin gets his entitled tendencies from his mother. So of course she doubled down stated that all we did was lie, and that I should have done what I had been told. For some reason, this woman can't understand that hubby and I made joint and unanimous decision on not wanting to be money tree ATM. Nice neighbor told her to go away, get therapist, and prepare for no contact order that could be coming her way. So you can guess what and who has kept lawyer friend extra occupied. On side note, I know people will warn us that Child Protective Services can be called by her or someone else out of vindictiveness and spite. We know, don't worry, joke will be on them though. We asked for their help on how to deal with our children after entitled cousin attempted to break into our home. This was further needed after what happened to them and me as well. They have also been involved because my children were witnesses, victims of attempted abduction. We have been assessed as parents, as well as through standard procedures, and we are deemed fit parents. Thankfully, they are informed about necessary things. So that was update. I will update as things progress. Update. A lot of people are asking me about trial. Lawyer friend advised not to post anything about it on social media, so I won't until I can. What I can tell you is how contact with other relatives is at moment. Quick recap. Blabbermouth gossiped to her and hubby's aunts, uncles, and cousins. They started to harass us. Demanded money. One uncle slapped me in face. Got name, little love tap uncle. He got to meet judge. Lots of family members got nice piece of paper. That said no contact, since they do have some respect for it. And perhaps us? We haven't heard thing. The no contact orders against hubby's relatives have not been renewed. There was legally no reason for it. We have slowly begun to have contact again. We attended some socially distanced birthday parties. Although it was very awkward in beginning, it's been kind of all right. At first gathering after COVID restrictions were lifted, little love tap uncle came up to me, asked if he could say something. Hubby and children were standing close, for obvious reasons. He apologized profusely, said that if I didn't want anything to do with him, he would understand. He started talking and explaining his behavior to me in person. It sounded sincere at first, but after a while I did lash into him. When he tried shifting blame onto Blabbermouth and me, I told him mostly verbatim, "No, it was your own doing that you never picked up phone to talk to us. And clear air. It was your own doing that you drove all the way to my home and waited for me. It was your own doing screaming and yelling insults at me. It was your own doing that you slapped me. Your greed was what drove you, not Blabbermouth or me. You are adult. Take responsibility for your own actions. You could have chosen different actions. That would have led to different outcome. Don't blame your greed on anyone else." He fell silent, said that I was right. They all say they understand now why we never told them. Wasn't that we didn't want to help, more that we didn't want to be seen as walking ATM. Some family members and I started discussing investing. Actually, pretty fun. Some family members even ask for budgeting advice. Have a knack for that from when hubby and I faced financial challenges. Keep conversations light, still wary of them. They know it. Will it be as it was before? No. Have no illusions about that anymore? They show respect. But they also know hubby and I won't hesitate to throw law book at them if they cross line again. Still suspect they try to get on our good side for money. Haven't started any other college funds for relatives. Won't do that at all. Had a cousin ask for certified loan. When asked for details, got shady story. Denied it. He sulked a bit. But that was that. Think he remembered all the horrors that could come his way. My own family members have been harassing my parents and brother too. Found out about it. They received a letter from me. Told them in no uncertain terms to cut the crap. Entitled ones keeping low profile since then. Still make snide remarks sometimes. But whatever, need to pick your battles. My parents handle them like champions. Brother is tall and strong. Has take no crap attitude. They don't dare mess with him. Paid for some security measures at parents' place. 2 reasons for that. First reason is don't want history to repeat itself. In case some cousins do Blabbermouth and entitled cousin combo, want everything caught on tape. Second reason is parents getting older. Been break-ins and people forcing way into homes of elderly. If either happens, want clear shot of faces, so lawyers can chase their behinds to nice sell. Brother already has security measures. Doesn't need more. Grateful that lawyer friends sent warning to some family members. Our relationship has changed. Brother and his wife knew we had money. After everything that happened, they began to realize it was more than they thought. They're happy for us. But when we go out to eat or do something as family, they make sure to pay for something. Brother said although they're grateful for what we did, doesn't want us thinking they use us for money, makes things awkward sometimes, especially if we say it's our treat because of birthday or something. Still, the gesture feels really good, after all we've been through. So that's the update about family members. Life has somewhat returned to normal. Children still get nervous from time to time. Hubby has his good and bad days. Don't have any health concerns myself. Still need some medicine. Physical therapy and dog walks improved my health very much. Update for Reddit family and friends. Trial still ongoing. No updates for that yet, but have update about Coddle Mom. She's entitled cousin's mother. Remember her? She was one agreeing with him. Said I should have done what he told me to do. And all that nonsense. Might remember time she came to our door. When we weren't home. Threatened to file false charges. And Child Protection Services reports. Well, she actually did it. Filed fake Child Protection Services charges. For those who don't know, we have our country's Child Protection Services involved. They and our family physician assist our children. After attempted abduction, we were established as fit parents. Part of investigation. When Coddle Mom threatened to call Child Protection Services for fake charges, we sent copy of video to them. Child Protection Services called us, said they received anonymous reports about child abuse and abandonment. Since we had appointment already, they came over and assessed everything. They have to take every report seriously. Nothing came of it. They have anonymous person on file, in case other false accusations called in, but since it was anonymous, had no certainty who it was, until Coddle Mom showed up at our door again, in screaming fit. Demanded to know why our children still with us. When she made the reports, was ranting about how she was sure we would learn our lesson. Unfortunately for her, we have cameras. Guess who got no contact order? And lawsuit for defamation and making false claims. Give yourself treat if you guessed Coddle Mom. When did she get the letters? While she and husband Steve were home having lunch? Long story short, he lost whatever patience he had with her. Told her he had enough of her behavior. Filed for divorce. They have prenup. But Coddle Mom will receive some money. Was discussed when prenup was signed. She still has plenty of savings. And nice retirement fund. Won't be penniless after divorce. Can afford decent-sized apartment. While living comfortably. Concerning their marital home. She unwilling to buy Steve out. Also unwilling to be bought out. So they have to sell it. For time being, they both live in house. But sleep in separate bedrooms. From what I heard, Coddle Mom had idea or delusion. Could go live with one of her daughters. Instead of buying own apartment. Was shut down very quickly. Her daughters have no intention of letting their mother live with them and their families. Coddle Mom apparently made derogatory comments about her own daughters and their children. Entitled cousin was and still is apple of her eye. Coddle Mom didn't like daughter's refusal, making comments about how it was daughter's duty to take care of her. Her youngest daughter asked if Coddle Mom even thinking of contributing to bills. Coddle Mom responded she wouldn't, said daughters should be willing and thankful to help their mother out after all she had done for them. So Coddle Mom has son momentarily stuck in prison. If and when he's released, he's unemployed and without home, has husband who doesn't want anything to do with her anymore, and daughter sick and tired of her shenanigans, and downright toxic behavior. Nice one, Coddle Mom. Plus side of this all, she has hands full with this mess. Had to share update with you. Short recap. Coddle Mom going through divorce? After she got served, Steve, her soon-to-be ex-husband, had warned her he reached his limit. Told her one legal letter was enough for him to file for divorce. So that's what he did. Coddle Mom's daughters already let her know. Under no circumstances will they take her in. After she and Steve sell house, Coddle Mom has plenty money in accounts. Along with nice retirement fund, daughters refused point blank to take their mother in to mooch off them. After all horrendous things she said about them, apparently Coddle Mom has no intention of living on her own or using her own money. So she managed to get in contact with none other than former daughter-in-law, Wonder Woman. She's entitled cousin's ex-wife. She kept old number for Steve, so they could arrange for him to see grandchildren. She has new number, but kept old one as ruse for Coddle Mom. From what I understand, it's like this. If Coddle Mom thinks Wonder Woman hasn't changed number, she still believes she has access to her, will not start searching for more information, and thus won't find out her new number and home address. So Coddle Mom contacted Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman answered thinking it was Steve. Alas, it was Coddle Mom. She immediately explained situation, without greeting or asking how she was. Fun fact, Wonder Woman and I had met up that day, for well-deserved day off in each other's company. I could hear and enjoy the show, before Coddle Mom could even get to point of asking or telling Wonder Woman what she wanted. Wonder Woman just said this, "Just stop right there, Coddle Mom. I know you going through divorce. I know you selling house, and that you need new place to live. I will not allow you to live with me. Not even when hell freezes over, will I let you live with me ever. Lose my number and goodbye." Click. Coddle Mom didn't dare call her again. We enjoyed rest of our day, while we basked in glory of Wonder Woman's righteous retort. I love balls of this woman. Update. The end, or so we hope. Dear Reddit family, been while since last update. Started writing about experiences, simply to gain insight and blow off steam. Found out posts been used by several YouTube channels and other social media to broadcast them. Know some people think they're fake. That's fine. Let them be. When found out about videos, was mostly interested in comments. They, along with hubby and lawyer friend, really opened my eyes, showed me I was naive, gullible, and incredible doormat. Nice neighbor, nice neighbor's wife, and my own children found out about posts. They agree with you all, so thank you. Some people who appear in story. Nice neighbor's wife. Few, nice neighbor and nice neighbor's wife's dog. Leifo, our own dog. Lawyer friend, our lovely lawyer friend. Entitled cousin. Blabbermouth, my insane and entitled sister-in-law, posted some time ago about how was beaten up by entitled cousin and friend of his. While Blabbermouth found my children, tried to drag one of the youngest away, they were arrested, had to await trial in prison. Then the update about Blabbermouth and entitled cousin. You've been waiting for reason it took so long, initially because of Christmas New Year, and illness of people involved, then took time to let results sink in. Have not been to majority of trial. My parents and friends been present more. To keep hubby and me up to date, well, the case is closed. Both entitled cousin and Blabbermouth will spend time in prison. Everything that could be thrown at these pathetic excuses for human beings was thrown at them, all while hoping they would see inside of prison cell for quite some more time, for anonymity's sake. Won't disclose amount of time they were sentenced. Entitled cousin was convicted of couple things. Most serious ones were grievous bodily harm and aiding kidnapping. Blabbermouth was convicted as well. Most serious ones for her are attempted kidnapping and helping entitled cousin commit grievous bodily harm. After they are released, they are not to contact us or come near us. We hope they listen to that this time. Did they plan this together? Yes, they did. Entitled cousin was to beat me up, to scare me and make me more pliable. Blabbermouth was to entice children away, with idea they would get us to pay, basically hold them for ransom. Blabbermouth said on stand, she never meant to hurt my children. She just wanted money. Entitled cousin's buddy made deal before that. Would give statements, evidence, everything. He would walk away with probation, fine and community service. Turns out Blabbermouth talked down to me because she was jealous of my success with investments, education, and good salary. Blabbermouth also invested in some things, but his investments didn't generate as much as they had hoped for. This resulted in Blabbermouth resenting me very much. When asked why she tried to take my children, her answer was so that their mother would pay her the money she deserves and that she owes her. The times she babysat my children or had sleepovers, she thinks I should have paid her or paid her more. Even when she asked if children could stay for weekend. Fun fact, we always got something nice, alongside flowers or something as thank you. Actually paid her for handful of times she had to babysit. Paid hourly rate for nanny at that time. We paid for gas when she went somewhere. Even times she offered to help out. We paid her either with money or nice gift, even though she said wasn't needed. We paid her daughters as well when they babysat. We now know how jealous she was of our wealth. In our minds, we never actively flaunted it. But both hubby and I realize now, maybe we should have handled things differently. Still, hubby and I were flabbergasted. The audacity of this woman. Mill and Phil are angry that she tried to abduct our children, but incredibly hurt as well. They never believed their own daughter would go this far, would be sent to prison. Mill is broken now. She initially asked us to forgive and forget. Hubby and I lost our cool on this, as Blabbermouth tried to harm our family when Mill heard her own daughter say reasons for her actions. We were told she cried. She knew lengths hubby and I went to help out Blabbermouth and her family. With and without funds we have now, she and Phil were shocked to their core, according to friends who witnessed them in courtroom, but still pure joy for us regarding outcome. Not only will we be free from entitled cousin and Blabbermouth for some time, but they also got what they deserve. I will admit I loved seeing their faces. When they were found guilty, Blabbermouth tried to plead something, blabbering all kinds of things I couldn't hear. She was crying so much. Her youngest and husband are only ones who support her. Her other children disowned her, never showed up. Entitled cousin became angry, started shouting and insulting everyone else. He has his own troubles. His wife filed for divorce after entitled cousin was arrested and she got custody of their children. She got job and got out. She moved. Sold house which was hers only. Got no contact order. Is busy building good life for herself and children. So now he has no friends, no family, no wife, and not even his children. They are in same age range as my own. As of now, don't want anything to do with their dad. His only supporter is his mother. Not even his father and sisters support him. Lawyer friend and hubby are glad that I learned some valuable life lessons. Don't let family get away so easily anymore. In past, would always try to see good in people. Still do, but know it's not always light. Have learned to make boundaries known. Decide which hills willing to die on. And fight It's true that justice isn't always sweet as this. Entitled cousin should have been locked away sooner. In my honest opinion, my children feel safe once again. They sleep better. Leifu, Fu, and his owners helped Lot. Nice Neighbor and Nice Neighbor's wife are real-life saviors. They've known from early on what precise story was. Have never asked for anything. Gave their love, support, advice, and trust in abundance. Children see them as extra set of family. Nice Neighbor and Nice Neighbor's wife love having them at home. They never could have children. See our children as their honorary nibblings. Eldest especially loves it. That he has Nice Neighbor as another male figure to respect and learn from. In all this mess, Nice Neighbor provided insights. That really helped him. I'm glad to have found new family. In this chaos, hope life will stay this way, at least for a while. Don't know if I'll be posting much after this. This saga of entitled cousin and blabbermouth has finally come to end. Good luck to all. Update. Dear Reddit family, hope this finds you all in good health. Rest assured this has to do with Blabbermouth's youngest. Reread some of my posts. Realized accidentally gave him two names. Entitled Apple Kid as he's apple of Blabbermouth's eye. And Son of Blabbermouth. To clear things up, I'll use Son of Blabbermouth. For those who follow me. You know, young man almost 19 now. Had to say goodbye to college fund from me and hubby because he did something foolish. His dearly beloved parents not happy, as they have very little money left, due to court costs and such. So seems like he needs to get job to fund his way through college. For some reason didn't have one before. I suspect Blabbermouth just paid for everything. He's already started college, but he's not happy with status quo. Has tried different tactics to get money from us. Before I begin, we know his parents have enough money left to pay for most of year of college courses, but not for books and other necessary things. Blabbermouth's husband still has job. That pays well enough. We know he pays in different installments during year. This is normal here. Regarding funds we had, money was set aside, but always made clear. We needed to get any information for college courses and books. We never gave money to prevent fraud. Every child and parent was aware of this fact. Attempt 1. Ringing the doorbell. He explained his situation. My parents don't have enough money to fund it. And I don't have job. Told him to get job. Says he doesn't want to. Asked about situation to see what he would say. Turns out his parents can pay majority of this year's tuition, but not books or other years. Told him I'm glad at least this year's tuition covered. He starts whining bit. Repeated what I had said. He messed up with his actions towards my children. He was warned. He was again informed getting job was beneficial for him in many ways. After a while he left fuming. Attempt 2. Sending us texts, emails, and letters with once again lists of why he should get his money, giving us deadlines to hand over his funds. We ignored this, but saved everything. Attempt 3. He sent us not so official looking letter from legal firm demanding we hand over college funds or legal action would be taken. This time I called lawyer friend. We arranged video call with Blabbermouth's husband, lawyer, and Son of Blabbermouth. Told them wanted to talk about Son of Blabbermouth's shenanigans and that his latest was one. That could get him in trouble with law. What he was doing could be considered blackmail, and impersonating lawyer or law firm is big no-no as well. Lawyer friend was having a lot of fun, explaining this to Son of Blabbermouth in detail. Then it was my turn. Wanted to set records straight with Son of Blabbermouth. Apparently he thought siblings just got money in their bank accounts. Told him that wasn't case, as he was told when he was 15 years old, and reminded many times over years. I got receipts, letters, etc. from Blabbermouth's husband and Blabbermouth, and then I paid for it. Not even cent went into their bank accounts. In case of money left after college, and wanting to use for down payment, I was one to do this, in presence of, in this case, his eldest sister, and sent confirmation. Son of Blabbermouth acted very surprised, then asked him why he was insisting on having money in his bank account. Lot of hemming and hawing later, and avoiding question. I told them what I was thinking. He just wanted money to spend on other things that weren't education related. He blushed, then he got angry, started ranting, spilled beans. He wanted his father to pay for college and work harder if he couldn't come up with money. His dad is very handy and is certified electrician among other things. He didn't want to get job, but wanted to live good life with money while taking college years easy way. Condensed version was something like, I don't want to work, you have money, and my dad can work extra as handyman, so I don't need to work. I want to take it easy with college and have fun. There are things about Bill I don't like, such as fact he went along with his wife and her shenanigans. What I do like is his children can't sell him any crap. He allows them to make mistakes, has good talks with them. 4 other children are good young adults, or are growing into adulthood as decent people. He is also a very hardworking man, respects other hardworking people deeply, so when his youngest tried to work him to bone, So son of Blabbermouth could dally bit. He didn't take that well. Oh heck no, that won't work for Bill. Long story short, Bill said he would deal with it. Left the call. Since then, blissful silence. His siblings tell him that his father got him job with friend, alongside friendly reminder. That son of Blabbermouth can also pay for his own college if he decides to ruin this. Update. Coddle Mom has burned every bridge. Didn't know would update with news on her. But I have news. Steve and his daughters keep me informed. In case Coddle Mom decides that I'm being moved upward on her priority list. House has been sold, and divorce has been finalized. Since they renovated house not long ago, people were very interested. Buyer was found pretty quickly. Coddle Mom and Steve officially no longer tied. She walked away with nice sum. Had until 15th of June to get her things out of house and find new place to live. Steve had been looking for apartment since start of divorce proceedings. Found one. It's quite close to his daughters and families. He moved as soon as he could. On to Coddle Mom. Don't have everything clear? As my inside informant's not close to her anymore. Some details about what happened might be vague. Because of this, Coddle Mom agreed to sale, as she got very nice sum of money. She also seemed to realize that if she did anything now, would get herself in deep trouble. Yet this wouldn't be Coddle Mom, Empress of Entitlement. If something weren't to happen, she had whopping 5 weeks at this point, left to find alternative housing. Buyers offered extra money if they could move. She and Steve gladly accepted. Her friends came with suggestions, offered their homes. One even managed to find a good apartment for her. Coddle Mom even went to look at it, but rejected offer. I've seen pictures, as her daughters texted them to me. Price was affordable. Good neighborhood. Nice neighbors as far as they could tell. No major or minor problems. With apartment itself, it even had possibility for in-home care. Seems like dream to me, but Coddle Mom said no. Well, why would you reject such nice offers? Because Coddle Mom was still hell-bent on living with one of her daughters, for free of course. We know this because her tactic was to wait till last moment, to spring this crap onto her daughters. Coddle Mom went to daughter one's house, told her first week of June would be perfect for her to move in with them. Daughter one asked if she lost her mind, because she isn't moving in with them. Coddle Mom again spouted things about, taking care of your elderly mother is your duty. You owe me this. I paid for your upbringing. You should pay me back. Daughter one told me she used some not so nice words to make clear what she thought. Slammed door before Coddle Mom could say anything else. To ensure Coddle Mom got message, she sent text, email, and priority letter, requiring signature for proof of delivery, stating she is not welcome to live at their place, and she will be trespassed if she shows up. Locks were changed just for good measure. Coddle Mom went to her other daughter. She called daughter two, told her, yes, told her not asked, that she would move in with them. In first week of June, daughter two told her heck no, not happening, and did same as her elder sister. But once again, her entitlement. She didn't take no for answer. Showed up anyway. First at daughter one's house, where she was met with locked door, and daughter one and her husband shouting from window to leave, or police would be called. She left. Daughter two was called by her sister about what happened. Daughter two locked her house as well, and as soon as her mother showed up, she called police. Coddle Mom noticed it and quickly left. Now her time is running out. That's what you get when you wait until last minute to find new living arrangements. Coddle Mom tried her friends. One apparently obliged. There was catch though. This friend was in process of moving, would only have house for another 2-3 months. She didn't mind hosting Coddle Mom for 2 months tops, so she could find alternative housing. However, Coddle Mom would need to sign form to ensure she would be out after 2 months. Coddle Mom didn't like that. Still showed up at friend's house with some of her belongings. Friend had heard about Coddle Mom's shenanigans. Didn't let her in unless she signed form. Coddle Mom refused, so her friend didn't allow her to stay. Coddle Mom didn't leave friend's house quietly. She was heard going on about, I thought I would get to live here. I didn't think you wouldn't let me stay. I thought we were friends. She then tried reaching her daughters again. With no success, received stern warning from police officers. Then she called Steve, who told her this was problem she created herself. He offered no assistance, told her she wasn't his responsibility, or anything else anymore. She even tried contacting Steve's family members, who also refused. Now she's at point where transfer was completed, and she no longer has home. I know she managed to find Airbnb, but no real apartment yet. So this is story of how Coddle Mom burned bridges she had in life. Update about family. Get messages from people asking, especially about mother-in-law, hubby, and children. They are doing better. Therapy has helped a lot. They understand some things are out of their control. Don't feel as helpless anymore. Are in better place now mentally. Have been training with our own dog lot, which gives children a lot of confidence. Our relationship with mother-in-law is so-so. Trial has taken immense toll on her. She finally realized what her actions did and what they meant to us. Even though she has gone to therapy, reality of how Blabbermouth is as person never really sunk in. That reality came crashing down. Blabbermouth damned herself in eyes of her mother. Mother-in-law has always downplayed what Blabbermouth said about me and did. Since start of my relationship with hubby, she didn't really believe that Blabbermouth meant things she had said over years. Most shocking thing Blabbermouth said wasn't even in court. It was during visit from mother-in-law, in jail where Blabbermouth was residing. She told her mother that I was always overreacting. That family shares that I and children should just shut up, not complain and do as she said. I should have divorced years ago, but since I was one who brought in more money, I should be good family member and share. She wouldn't be in this situation if I had done what she wanted, that no harm would have come to me if I had simply done as she told me to do, that it was because of me, that she was in jail, that she, Blabbermouth, had to show me that she was one who decided what I should do, with money as she is older than I am, and knew what was best for family. Eye roll. Sure, Blabbermouth, as most spoiled of them all, she told mother-in-law I wasn't worthy to be part of family to begin with, said I had my use, but if I didn't just part with my money, would be better if I and my children, not hubby's, but mine alone in her mind, were no longer part of it. Way my poor mother-in-law interpreted that last remark. Is that her own daughter wished death on her grandchildren and their mother? She told us so. My mother-in-law has greatest of hearts, but sometimes misses innuendo in things that are being said and done. Now, I personally don't believe that Blabbermouth wishes for my existence to end. She knows full well that while hubby earns well, it's money I bring in investments that have given us nice nest egg and possibility to help her and her family. She is entitled, very entitled. Is she stupid? Why, yes, but not to this degree. She has expressed many times that hubby should divorce me, has always tried to sabotage and even end our relationship. But never my life. I also know for fact, when suggestion arose that she could be indicted for attempted manslaughter after entitled cousin's attack, she got scared. She wanted me compliant, not dead. She knows that her brother, my hubby, places me and children on pedestal, and by hurting me to this point, she has damaged their sibling relationship. Beyond repair, he has shown his anger towards her. Because of her actions against us, what would have happened? If she was found responsible for my death, Blabbermouth had his respect as his sister. She has lost that utterly. He doesn't care what happens to her anymore, has completely disowned her. But that isn't only thing. Her own mother thought that Blabbermouth wished for my demise, and that of my children. We explained aforementioned to her. We told mother-in-law she knew all things. We have done for Blabbermouth and her family, plus others as well. Mother-in-law didn't seem to hear us, comprehend, or be willing to understand. Mother-in-law now saw what her daughter put me through. All those comments, snide remarks, and subtle digs, all ways she had slightly undermined me. Mother-in-law always excused those actions. Now she realized what her daughter was doing. She understood severity of her daughter's actions to make me obedient to her will, endangering my health and even my life, and inflicting trauma onto my children. As long as mother-in-law and hubby's will was broken, and her demands were fulfilled, it didn't matter. Change in mother-in-law was immense. It left her broken. She no longer saw her daughter only as loving mother, but also as entitled woman she is, and consequences of her own actions. Mother-in-law has been apologizing so much. She's been crying a lot. We look at mother-in-law with mix of sadness and relief. Blabbermouth no longer has ally in her mother. Blabbermouth's children, particularly two eldest, bluntly told mother-in-law they were glad she finally came to this conclusion. They were sick and tired of mother-in-law's rug sweeping. They are not angry with her. Mother-in-law is not confrontational. When there are confrontations, she would rather ignore them and pretend all was well. Mother-in-law continues with therapy. She has long way to go. Rest of family is quiet. Haven't asked for money. They did seek budgeting advice and such. We are civil but cordial with those who went against us. Update. Some wonderful news. Very good friend of mine, Jake, fake name, showed up at my door with his great love as surprise. They are getting married this summer. I get to be best woman. Hubby is best man. Eldest and youngest are ring bearers. My daughter gets to be flower maiden. They thought girl didn't apply, as she is teenager. Finally, some good news. Update. Some more mommy drama part 1. The introduction of Jake, and lawyer friend's parental spawns of demon. As of now, my family and I are in Australia. Jake and his great love came to visit us a couple months ago to tell us in person they are tying knot. We have traveled with them. As great love's surviving parent, unable to travel due to terminal illness, lawyer friend is Jake's older brother. He and his family came as well. Last time I posted, Jake and great love came to tell us most wonderful news. Since we had spare bedroom, They stayed. Alas, their stay was not without problems. To explain events of present, need to tell you about history. Between Jake and me, Jake and I go back for 30 years. Met during birthday party. Had similar interests and personalities. We clicked on platonic level. Instinctively knew he didn't have thing for women. He confirmed that later. Coming out like happens nowadays wasn't thing. Sometimes opened gates for discrimination and acts of violence. To keep long story short, Jake helped me get out of mentally and emotionally abusive relationship. My ex isolated me from my family completely. Jake managed to get me out. Perhaps you avid readers can see now why I put up with family's crap for so long. Jake and I were friends for 3-ish years at this point. After breakup with my ex, I visited Jake regularly. I knew his parents, as Jake still lived there. 2 years after breakup, I met Hubby. Hubby and Jake also became good friends. Hubby had his own apartment, and I moved in 2 years into relationship. Shortly after, we encountered financial difficulties. I mentioned earlier. So, breakdown of relationship between Jake and his parents now. Jake has always been gay. He never had girlfriend. He had something about him. That just said you fall for men? However, openly telling others that you were gay wasn't common. So Jake never really told his parents, his brother, lawyer friend, or other relatives. After Hubby and I got together, went to visit Jake one day. Hubby was sweet and gave me a ride. Kissed goodbye in front of Jake's house. His mother saw us through window, enter the living room. Mother is absolutely livid. Starts accusing me of cheating on Jake. Calls me every horrible name in the book. The father joins in too. Jake, lawyer friend, his future wife, and I just stand there. Complete shock. They finally have to stop to breathe. Tell them Jake and I are just friends. Good friends, but nothing more. More screaming and cursing follows. Jake confirms what I said. Says I'm a very good friend, but nothing more. They don't believe him. You are decent enough to snag her. You should be lucky she wants you? This kind of talk was normal. Lawyer friend was their golden child. Jake decides to drop the bomb. Tells them women aren't his thing. Says he's into men. Stunned silence fills the room. His mother steps forward. Slaps him hard across the face. Starts screaming about shame. About sin. About how he's not as good as lawyer friend. Calls him despicable. Funny part is, they always considered themselves open-minded. Weren't even religious. Lawyer friend and his future wife have to step between them. Parents are still screaming. Tell Jake to get out. Saying they're kicking him out of the house. Lawyer friend tells Jake to get all his things. Says he needs to leave. Lawyer friend was just starting his career as lawyer back then. Jake and I run upstairs. He starts packing important documents. I grab every bag I can find. Open every drawer. Empty his closet. Throwing as many clothes as possible into bags. Start throwing bags out the window. Landing in the front yard. Can hear screaming still going on downstairs. Jake and I somehow manage to get away. Pack everything into Jake's car. Drive straight to my hubby's apartment. Lawyer friend and his future wife join us after some time. Hubby comes home not long after. Lawyer friend can't take Jake in. His in-laws already staying at his place. Something about construction at their home. Hubby says Jake can stay with us. During this time, Hubby and I had some financial issues. We discuss what Jake would contribute. Things get really messy after that. Here's what the parents did. Not even everything, just some examples. Called all the relatives. Outed Jake as homosexual to everyone. Started lying about everything they could think of. Told people he was doing drugs. Claimed he was a criminal. Made up all sorts of stuff. When Jake still lived at home, he paid electricity and water bills instead of rent. Parents got revenge through that. Opened all the faucets in the house. Turned on every electrical appliance they owned. Even borrowed a portable air conditioner. Left everything running to spike the bills. Called his workplace. Tried to get him fired by spreading lies. Almost succeeded too. Strong suspicion they damaged his car. Car windows got smashed multiple times. Tires slashed. Car got keyed. Happened more than once. Unfortunately, they got away with it. The worst part was still to come. They and some homophobic family members ambushed him. Jake ended up in the hospital. Couldn't press charges. No proof it was them. CCTV only caught some dark figures. Other relatives gave them alibi. It was a complete mess. By some luck, Hubby and I were spared their wrath. This went on for months. Jake wasn't the same man and friend I knew anymore. Then suddenly it all stopped. Lawyer friend came by. Right after Jake was released and back at our apartment. Simply told us their parents wouldn't bother him again. To this day, we have no clue what lawyer friend did or said. But it worked. They never bothered Jake again. Lawyer friend also cut them out of his and his wife's life. Never said a word about what he told their parents. But I can guess. Picture lawyer friend like a trained and vicious hunting dog, with the law as his leash. If he can use law against you, and he has a reason, then I sincerely pity you. He won't hold back. Update after all this. Lawyer friend stood beside his younger brother. Went no contact as well. This was about 24 years ago. Parents weren't invited to his wedding. Weren't notified about birth of grandchildren. No birthday parties. No Christmas. No New Year's. No special days. Nothing at all. Parents started wailing about it, berated him for denying their rights, accused him of not doing his duty, said he should abide by their will. Lawyer friend and wife had their reasons for no contact. They were horrified by what parents had done, also didn't want their children exposed to them. There was more to it, though. Turns out parents had always resented Jake. They wanted a girl originally. Mother had emergency hysterectomy. Couldn't have more children after Jake. They resented him just for not being a girl. Lawyer friend believes Jake being gay was just the excuse they needed to do all those horrible things. Later on, they had other concerns too. Lawyer friend's firstborn was a daughter. They were scared what parents might do. Parents had weird obsession with girls. Always talked about when they'd get pregnant with a girl. Said she must be named after Jake's mother. Kept saying they needed to help raise her properly. Hence the no contact decision. Fast forward to present. Not long after Jake and Greatlove arrived, noticed some unusual activity. I always check doorbell video recordings weekly. For peace of mind, notice same man and woman walking past the house, sometimes alone, sometimes together. They seem familiar. Can't place them though. Hubby watches footage too. Doesn't recognize them either. While we're speculating, Jake walks in, asks what we're doing. Before we can answer, color drains from his face. Spits out, "Those are my parents." He's completely sure. Jake gets panic attack. Greatlove manages to calm him down. They retire for the night. Now we're all wondering, what demon let them out of their lair? Give lawyer friend a call. Send him the video. He invites us to his house. We talk it over. Have no clue why these wastes of oxygen are here, or how they knew I lived here, and that Jake was staying with us. You all know I was a doormat. Yeah, trauma does that. But that's changed now. Don't take any crap from anyone, not from family, but least of all from these demons. Who hurt my best friend so much? Lawyer friend and I devise a plan. Plan to smoke them out. Make sure they crawl back to hellhole they came from, never to return. First step of the plan. Call my parents. When all that past crap hit the fan, my parents became Jake's surrogate parents. They stepped up, informally adopted Jake as their son. They talk regularly now, formed strong bond over the years. They accepted him as he was, still do. Explain to them who showed up. They promptly call Jake. Tell him and Greatlove to spend few days with them. They want to see Greatlove in flesh. My mother wants to put him through her bullcrap exam. He passed. They want some quality time together. Now that Jake is somewhere safe, lawyer friend and I go on our merry way. Do what we think is necessary. I work with private investigators. Call in a couple of favors. Task for them. Dig up everything on Jake's sperm and egg donor. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the dark crap that makes blood run cold. For good measure. Let them investigate every relative too, just in case they try wearing capes. Come to the rescue. Some investigators were very giddy. When I explained what I needed, still can't figure out why. Did they deliver? Oh my, how they did. Everything they gave me went straight to lawyer friend. Can't share some specifics. These things can trace back to individuals. Don't like lawsuits if I'm the one being sued. What we can share though, country's equivalent of IRS had field day. With these demonic spawns, investigation's still ongoing. It's not pretty. Any relatives tried defending them. Got very not-so-nice warning to stay out of it. They didn't listen. Certain information got to specific people. Many different kinds of lawyers. Getting their paychecks now. Not a peep from relatives after that. Jake and lawyer friend's parents did come to our door. When they were found out, quite funny how 80-year-old people try to threaten you. Too bad for them. Lefu and Fru had a play date. Weren't pleased to be interrupted. Lawyer friend loved being the one to send that cease and desist letter. Demonic parents called lawyer friend's law firm after that. Berated him for not honoring his parents. I had absolute joy of listening in on that conversation. Had appointment with lawyer friend that day. Honestly, that man should get patent on poker face. Won't disclose exact content, but some very nasty truths were said before lawyer friend disconnected call. So here's the reason why these demons came to our house. These demonic people found out that Jake had returned home. After all that happened and passed, Jake and parents went no contact. With other party, lawyer friend and wife chose Jake's side. Went no contact as well. Turns out even demon spawn needs assistance. They thought they could bully, cajole, and gaslight Jake into doing what they wanted. Their master plan was simple. Isolate Jake, then gang up on him. Make him help them. They believed it was Jake's duty as repayment for raising him. And since he was gay, he needed to do this for them. For this great failure, they didn't try anything with lawyer friend. As entitled as they might be, they weren't that foolish. Knew things might go wrong. It still went wrong anyway. But that was because lawyer friend and I decided to be proactive. Figuratively dig their graves for them. Even after cease and desist letter, those idiots still had nerve to come once more. Tell me that if I had been good woman, I would have made Jake normal again. I simply told them the truth, that he was a good man, a good uncle, a good brother, a good friend, and so much more. Told them he was all those things, despite their lack of love, despite their resentment. Everything they denied him, he gave back 100-fold to others, then told them something else. If they didn't leave, they would get to know our lovely Lefu and local law enforcement. They quickly left after that. Haven't bothered us again. Now we're enjoying well-deserved holiday. Our children are helping. With final things for wedding, having blast with great love and Jake. I'm surrounded by my family, those by blood, and those by choice. Get to see my best friend, marry his great love, live his happily ever after. At last, update after wedding. Jake married his great love. Then great love's remaining parent passed away. It was expected. They left with dignity and love. We stayed for all services, then left after wrapping everything up. Concerning great love's parent, Jake and great love moved to our home country. They're staying with my parents. While searching for their own home, it's win-win situation. They get to save money, only helping with utilities. My parents get some at-home care from very loving and qualified people. Unfortunately, we have new sorrows. Mother-in-law, hubby's loving mother, has passed away. She fell downstairs, broke her leg. Surgery was needed. She came out all right, got home, was recovering very well. Then came signs of infection. When doctors examined, they saw infection was far more severe than anticipated. Okay, that's concern, but manageable, right? Some stronger antibiotics, hospital stay. Everything should be all right, right? Wrong. Turns out she needs another surgery. Tissue had turned necrotic. They needed to operate, remove all afflicted tissue. We were worried, but remained positive. Then doctors dropped biggest bombshell. After some other tests, chances of her heart failing during surgery were absurdly high. Same for liver and kidneys. Basically, she would die on operating table. So only news is she's going to die, whether or not she has surgery. Still don't comprehend how this works exactly, how they knew this for sure. Heartbroken doesn't begin to describe how we felt. Father-in-law brought her home. Hubby and I helped arrange at-home palliative care. And everything else? Family and friends were called. Came to say goodbye. After 5 days, sleep medication was given. Father talked with Blabbermouth, her lawyer too. They're in contact with lawyer friend about funeral, and no contact order still in place. They're making arrangements. Details about her temporary release from prison. Not things we are dealing with. Simply told lawyer friend. We wanted no contact order upheld. We all wanted to say goodbyes. To mother-in-law, not have any drama. Mother-in-law said goodbyes to loved ones. We know Blabbermouth could say goodbye, but had to return to prison. She told me and hubby she was sorry. Said she just wanted our family to be whole. We forgave her. Mother-in-law passed away Tuesday, early in morning. Her funeral will be next Monday. Today, lawyer friend will call us for final arrangements. Concerning Blabbermouth attendance, really sorry if this post is scrambled. Update came thankfully. Lawyer friend had same idea as well. After all, he dealt with her legally. Wasn't prepared to tolerate more shenanigans. After brief discussion with hubby and me, boundaries and possibilities were clear. Father-in-law and to some extent mother were also involved. So lawyer friend skipped his merry way to desk to talk to opposing legal party. Made it absolutely clear. She was only allowed to say goodbye to her mother, but not welcome at funeral. Blabbermouth and her lawyer weren't pleased, but they agreed in the end. Day and time were set for Blabbermouth to visit dying mother. Lawyer friend, Blabbermouth's lawyer, Bill and even Blabbermouth's 4 older children, made it very clear to her. She was only there to say goodbye to mother. This wasn't about her, her drama or any negativity. These were her final moments with mother. She was to focus on mother alone. I know Bill and eldest daughter, read Blabbermouth, the riot act. Sweet lady without evil bone and body, would soon leave this life for next. She didn't need drama, didn't need negativity, didn't need guilt trips, or that kind of thing. Hubby and I weren't there. But lawyer friend and Blabbermouth's lawyer, along with necessary law enforcement, were present, stayed at respectful distance. She was given 2.5 hours. Don't know if this is lot or very little. She, mother-in-law and father talked lot, keeping things pleasant, shared memories, asked some last questions. All was well. Until time was up, Blabbermouth's entitlement couldn't stay silent. Had to make comment about me, hubby, and our children, and mess she created. Lawyer friend didn't want to repeat it, only said it was pretty evil, focused on her predicament. Police officers didn't get chance to quietly take her away. Bill literally dragged her outside, while father stayed behind to console crying mother-in-law. Bill was screaming at Blabbermouth, something about sheer nerve and entitlement. Lawyer friend kept them apart. While police took Blabbermouth back to prison, her lawyer following behind. After this debacle, lawyer friend called us, shared latest drama. Our children heard about the stunt, left the room. Before call ended, we received text, "Mom, we went to Grandma and Grandpa. Don't worry, we'll be back at 9." Our lovely children texted their cousins, went to mother and father's place, made sure their grandma had wonderful time, surrounded by her grandchildren, playing games, enjoying good food, provided and cooked by grandchildren, engaging in serious conversations. Oh, she loved this so much. She lived and loved to care for us. For them, for so many others, now in her time of need, her grandchildren came, gave them both necessary distraction. Father-in-law let us know they were there. 3 days later, mother passed. We have taken care of all things. Concerning funeral services, father-in-law has distributed items. Mother-in-law wanted to be given. Blabbermouth was also given certain items. We heard she had hissy fit. Apparently some pair of earrings, or other weren't given to her. Of course, her mother wanted her to have them, so her daughters could inherit them. Too bad for Blabbermouth. Father-in-law is far from stupid. Mother-in-law listened very carefully to his advice, so there is absolutely no wiggle room. They asked their own lawyer for advice also. Blabbermouth shouldn't worry. The earrings and other things. She claims mother-in-law would have left her. Well, couple went to her own daughters. But most astonishing news, Bill is divorcing Blabbermouth. Since no contact order against him, didn't need renewal. He called us, apologized for what she did, especially about what happened. At meeting with dying mother, he explained everything. He's still somewhat salty about some issues, to which hubby gave him salty retort. But her last crap is something. He can't overlook, "You don't mess with good woman?" On her deathbed. That's line you don't cross, even in Bill's book. We wished him luck, and hung up. Blabbermouth going to fight him. Every step of divorce. We're not sure if we're happy, neutral, or sad. Their children feel same. Our own think this is what she deserves. We are just preparing bit more. For time, she and Entitled will be released. For now, we just open. Mother-in-law's favorite bottle of wine. Say cheers. Send prayer towards that angel. Surround ourselves with loved ones.